Zero here with the Tabletop Dungeoneers, and I am accompanied by Hate from Save or Die, and a special guest today we have Franky from Franky D Crafters. What's up, fellas?
How we doing?
Hi, Franky.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
What's up with the beanie? You cold, man?
Nah, it's just I got. Look at this hair, bro.
There you go. That's Franky. Look
at this hair, bro. Look at this hair.
Yeah, look at mine,
bro.
Show him yours.
At least you got hair.
I told my girlfriend I'm about to lose it in 5 years, so I'm kind of taking advantage of it right now.
Hey man, you know what? I let it go in my 20s, and that was it. I said, forget it. I'm not gonna fight for it.
Yeah, I think I was 21 when it started.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no razor blade. Give me razor blade.
Yeah, like my mother's side of family, we just got this little bit of unicorn hair right here. Little special horn right there that grows, but I just forget it. What's the point of fighting to hold on to this little bit of hair?
No, I think it just looks better like if you shave it off.
Yeah, I haven't recently. I've been like sloppy, but yeah. So
got Franky's webpage up. So this is Franky's YouTube channel right here.
Yes, Franky. If you guys are not familiar with it, please check it out. He has some amazing crafting content. I've been stalking your page, Franky. I do it every time someone joins the Discord.
Okay, that's cool.
Just to I personally feel like in order for people to support each other on YouTube, like especially us, like in our group, I feel like if I watch your videos, you know what I'm saying, I'm commenting, whatever. I may not share them all, because I don't have a lot of, people that are, into the same hobbies as I am, clearly. But
I was just thinking about that today too, actually.
Yeah, so what I do is I'll watch the videos straight through, just to give you that view, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the only way really to support, right?
Yeah.
But I've been watching a bunch of your videos, man. I'm really digging your style with your crafting, and I like your. And this is not an insult, not by any means, but I like your cartoon style.
Yeah. No, I don't take it as an insult.
I dig it. I dig because it's different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do realistic crafting. When I craft something, I try to make it look as realistic as possible, in a miniature form and stuff like that. And Hate does the same thing. But to see that style, that animated style you put out, that vibe, your colors are real vibrant. So it's different. It's refreshing.
That was one of the questions I had for you about your style. Your jellies are cartoonish, yes. But like the Aztec temple, which is what I pulled up here, that's how the Aztecs used to paint their shit, though.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that when I did that one, I didn't do something like ruined, I wanted to make sure that it looked like it was kept, like people still lived in there. And like the Aztecs and the Mayans, they had very colorful artwork, and I wanted to make sure that I kind of like put that on the craft.
It shows.
Yeah,
it
like
definitely
turquoise
shows.
Really indicative of them, the turquoise and everything.
Yeah.
There we go.
Some very cultural work there. I appreciate that. It's pretty cool. So, Franky, why don't you how did you what started all of this for you? Like what got
crafting?
What got you into crafting? I mean, because as kids we all build stuff, right? Play with clay, we play with whatever we have available to us. And
some of us more than others.
Some of us had more gifts than others, sure, or more starting. Right. But what got you into doing this as a hobby and getting you onto YouTube and creating a channel for this hobby of yours?
The first thing that got me was I was talking to Hate. My friends finally got back into D&D, and they wanted me to run it. And and we've never used like actual terrain or anything before then. And I wanted to make sure that if we go back into this time around, like get back into it this time around, I wanted to have terrain and everything. And I started crafting like, whatever. I had some crazy things. I don't think I don't have them on the channel, but, and I really liked it. Everybody was like really excited to be able to play with like actual 3-dimensional objects. And since most of my friends were gamers, they felt like, oh, D&D is like a video game without any limitations.
Right.
There's no mechanics holding you back, to a certain extent.
Right.
Like if you can come up with the idea, you can probably perform it. And so, yeah. And that's kind of what I liked about it too. I was sort of like designing video games without actually, designing video games, and it was just for my friends.
Without all the coding.
Exactly. And then eventually my girlfriend was, and at this time I used to like work at a restaurant. I used to manage. I used to, I used to be there like almost all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend got me to, she's like, you know what? You shouldn't be wasting your talent. Like, start a YouTube channel. And it might not come across.
It's Miss Franky's
the
fault.
videos. Yeah, it is. It might not come across in the videos, but I'm like super shy, and I always like all my artwork and stuff. I always just keep to myself. I just make it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And she pushed me. I made the first videos. I got like good reception. I still remember like the first time I ever got a shout out from a channel was like Crafts and Minis, and I woke up my girlfriend. I was like, oh my god, check this out! I got a shout out. Like, she was like half asleep. She's like, go back to bed. I was too excited. But it was pretty cool, and he actually Crafts and Mini kind of like introduced me to the community in a way, because through him I found out a whole bunch of Discord. Kind of stepped out of my like what do you call it, like your
comfort
like
zone?
your safety zone,
your comfort zone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I started just interacting with everybody. I met a whole bunch of cool people, and I think ever since after that I just started like taking it more and more serious.
It definitely shows in your work and the video quality and stuff like that. And I gotta say, some of the videos are pretty funny. Your intros are hilarious.
I kind of stopped doing that stuff. I wanted to get back into it.
Okay.
When
cool.
I did those things, I had like my nephew helping me and stuff like that. And since I don't live near him anymore, it's a little bit tougher. But I definitely want to start doing that stuff again. So
I want to. Hey, do you have any questions for him? Because I'm gonna start hitting him with a ton of questions, bro. So
I mean, I got a little list. I mean, I do.
Go for it.
I mean, I was gonna pull up Snake Mountain, but because that was another one I liked a lot, man.
That's right here.
So let me.
You can see it.
You got it back there behind you?
It's right here.
I can't see it. We're tiny. Oh, I see it back there.
So let me ask you something, and I'm gonna touch on something you had just said, Frankie. You said that you're very reserved, you're shy, and you use your artwork to yourself now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make an assumption, right? Because I don't know your life, I don't know your real story, but I'm assuming, being Latino, right? You grew up in a house that not so much was negative towards your creativity, but more so like oblivious, like. You probably grew up in a house, because I know I went through the same thing when I was a kid. My mother was like, deja esa mierda y ya.
Oh man, I got funny.
You gotta go to work. You gotta work. You can't, don't waste your time with that stuff. It's kid stuff. It's stupid. You're wasting your time. And you hear a lot of that. And because of that, we tend to, especially Latinos, we tend to push it back. We tend to hide it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's not something your mother's going to really, I didn't have, my father wasn't around. There wasn't no father in the house, but it's not something that they tend to usually support at first, right? Like they don't, my mother didn't support my artistic creativity and everything like that. But it wasn't until I became an adult where I stood and said, hey, look, this is what I'm going to be, regardless of what you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm already past that child stage. So this is part of my life now. You just have to accept it. And now she's, my son's an artist. My mijo's this and mijo's that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not blaming my mother. I'm just saying that it's just a part of Latino culture we grow up in, because most of the time, most Latino families are poor. They grow up poor, so they don't have a lot of time to waste with this type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just assuming based on my experience. I don't know but just touching on what you said earlier. I mean, is that the same thing that happened with you?
So I grew up in a small town, pretty much like grew up in a farm, and my mom is, I would say she's still very religious. And when I was a kid, I would draw all of this like demonic kind of stuff, right? But and to me that shit wasn't demonic, it was just like it was just like, oh, this stuff looks cool, I didn't know. And honestly, if if my mom was like, "Oh, mijo, like, what are you drawing?" kind of thing, I was too stupid to realize that, you know, what it was, you know. So it's not like that ever like really affected me. I had more backlash from like when I came to the USA. In one of my classes, one of my teachers had an issue with my drawings, that they were too demonic, you know, whatever. But I still don't think they were. Like, even now, looking back at them, I'm like, it was like, basically, it's like, think about like Dragon Ball Z characters. That's basically what I was drawing, but maybe like, you know, with horns, and that was it.
I mean, I went through the same thing, man. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think it's safe to say that if you're an artist or you have that talent, you're gonna go through that period. You're gonna go through those different phases of styles of art.
But
like
that's unique to like Roman Catholicism. That's unique to them.
Sure. But what I'm saying is, like, when people who don't have that same level of talent see you, they don't understand where it's coming from. They see it as, like you said, it's demonical. You know what I'm saying? It's not natural, it's not religiously proper. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're like, I grew up Catholic, so that was definitely a no-no in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You didn't do that shit at all. And if you did, you hit it because you knew you were gonna get in trouble. So, you know, Sunday was coming around every week.
I was too stupid to hide it. I would get in trouble every single time.
Yeah. I wouldn't hide it. The more they would yell at me about it, the more I would say, you know what, this is just art. It's no different than when Leonardo da Vinci painted Adam, you know, naked on the ceiling, or it's no different. It's
there's
art.
A picture of Lucifer. There was, you know, like paintings of Lucifer and his angels, and, you know, it's like, well, what's the difference?
Oh yeah.
You know I mean, like, I may not be as refined as that artist, but it's still art, right? And I mean, I think, you know, like I said, it's just being an artist is hard when people don't have that understanding of that talent and where you're going with it mentally. And like a lot of times, it's evil, it's demonic, especially in the 80s, like the craze of like Dungeons and Dragons was, you know, where it was, the satanic panic was high, and everybody, whoa, you're drawing that evil Satan shit, you know what I mean? And it just was not worth the argument.
When did you come, Frankie?
Huh?
When did you come to America?
I was 10, so it was like 2000.
2000.
Yeah.
So how old are you now?
I'm almost 30.
He's 12 now.
Wepa,
he's 12 now.
Still a baby.
Look at him. He still got hair and everything. He's 12.
Yeah, he still got hair on his head. Oh shit.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's what I was born here.
Yeah.
My parents both came, but I was born.
No, here. I have the Mexican stamp. I got a scar from a horse bit me in my back.
Oh.
I still got the scar from it. It's the stamp. It's like came from Mexico.
That's the seal of approval.
That's the seal of approval. Or you have to have like a like a cow footprint on your chest to make sure. I was like, this guy's really Mexican.
Now, did you guys when you came here, when did you get to that point where the family was like, okay, I mean, this is how he's gonna be, this is what he's gonna be, and they're accepting of, you know, where you choose to put your creative energy?
Damn, that's hard to say because there were so many of us that I don't think they could keep track of all of us. So I don't think they were keeping.
You're killing the stereotypes, bro.
Like a Frankie, puro mexicano.
Yo, I'm straight up. Yeah, no, that's why I don't.
Pues que
I don't need to be
sabes,
like a
güey.
stereotype. No, see, the funny thing is, I can't do a lot of the Mexican accents. I'm already too blended into the Connecticut accent.
Oh my god,
I can't even do the Mexican accent anymore. It's kind of depressing.
I can't do the Cuban one. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
That's serious, you know. Que quiere chico.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna try to be like sound it. I'm not, just make a fool of myself.
Cubans talk fast, man. You got to talk real fast to be Cuban.
Puerto Ricans talk fast.
Shit, not even.
No, y'all can beat
No,
us.
yeah, Puerto Ricans. I feel like Dominicans too.
Dominicans are really fast talkers.
They talk really fast.
You got to be quick. Even with good Spanish, you got to be like, wait, slow down. So
you gotta record it. Yeah. It's like, yo, let me go back to this right now.
What the fuck did he just say to me? What's that? It's
Spanish.
Neither. So I mean,
none of my kids speak.
And I speak
really?
it. I speak it, but I'm nowhere near like like the generations. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother.
Right. Yeah.
But
I compare my Spanish to my mom's. That's why I say I don't speak it that well. I can speak to somebody in Spanish for sure, but I can't compare to their level of the Spanish.
The problem is that you weren't educated in Spanish.
Right.
That's the thing. So whenever you want to use a word like motherboard, you don't know the equivalent in Spanish.
I didn't even think about that. You're right. I don't even know how to say that in Spanish.
Right. You're right. I don't either.
It's shit like that. It's like pantalla. I learned that because of the Cox Cable commercial. That's the only reason. So it's shit like that. If you weren't educated in Spanish, so all these technical
I think
words,
like I could make my way through San Juan, but I would not be able to like survive there. You know what I'm saying? Just on my language. You know what I mean? Like I know I could get through it and find the Mr. Mofongo truck, and I could find the taco joint, but I couldn't really eke out too much of a living with just Spanish. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, well, if you were looking for, like, if you were in Mexico, if I was in Cuba looking for a computer, I wouldn't know how to ask for it. I mean, I could say computadora, but if I want specs,
something specific, you're done.
You're done.
Graphic card. There's no way I can ask for it.
Right.
There's no way, and they'll use.
You just have to be all like choppy Spanish, like carta gráfica.
Yeah.
Like the guys gonna be looking at
colores,
you. Colores.
Keep your phone with you and just be like, esto aquí. Yo quiero esto aquí. Everybody knows universal symbols, right? Like that's
right. Yeah.
It works.
So you started off crafting as a kid and painting just like anybody
else.
No,
I never crafted as a kid.
No,
I just never crafted as a kid. All I did was draw.
Okay.
Drawing was all I did. It wasn't up until I like got out of high school that I started like sculpting, I guess. And then after that, eventually I just got into crafting because I wanted to do it for a game, you know.
I don't like that word,
crafting.
Yeah, here we go.
I feel like it's the only way people are gonna know that's what I mean.
No, it's the universal. I know what you're saying, Hate. I get what you're saying, but that is the universal term for it. Like if you're in a room full of people, you just say it. People know what you're talking about.
No.
What do you prefer?
He prefers maker.
Making.
Yeah. Like I'm making bread.
I make shit. Yeah, I'm making.
To me, I think crafty is like you're I don't think of it like school thing, like or like kindergarten or whatever. I think crafting. When I think crafting, I think like you're smart enough to use whatever material you have around and make it into something else that's a lot better.
See, I think
that to me, it's like crafty.
I think finger painting in like grade school and paper plates.
It's in his name of his website, bro.
Right? Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh.
You gotta change it.
Don't tell me you forgot.
You gotta change it to Franky D Maker now.
Franky D Maker.
Yeah, Franky D Maker.
There you go.
I make art and stuff.
How about creator? There you go. That's a good
no
one.
Finger painting.
No finger painting.
No paper plates.
Cool, man.
Yo, that should be a challenge. Shit. That should be a challenge. Trying to paint your terrain, finger painting.
That should be.
God.
Oh, that'd be.
All right, it's on.
Oh God. I wouldn't even want to do that. I could barely touch my fingers.
So Franky, it says that on your channel, it says that you started in 2018.
The
YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. I think it was literally like December of that year. So it was really like 2019.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started publishing my first video, like January.
Well, you blew up pretty fast, bro. If that's the case, I mean that's a pretty quick blow up. I mean you hit like 4K.
It took a while. The first year was like really slow, I feel like. The first year, I mean, I did have a lot of help from like, let's say, Crafts and Minis, Nick's Craft, or Craft Nick's, I'm sorry, or one of those two is right. But he's awesome. He's hilarious, and he gave me a shout out too. So I had a few shout outs in like the first year, and the second year was when I met Jeremy from Black Magic Craft. And he gave me a shout out on his channel, and I got a little bit of bump from that. Gotcha. And then again, Bard's Craft.
Do you think do you credit that number, that bit of success to those guys giving you those shouts out? I mean, do you think that's
the success
crucial to success? Is the word of mouth the because I mean here's the thing.
Not for everybody, I feel like.
Okay.
Like
no, it's not.
Like I wouldn't say it's for everybody because some people do it without that.
People can point, and if they don't watch, it doesn't matter.
That's the other thing, right?
Well,
right,
exactly. If your content's not really going to grab attention, it doesn't matter who tells you.
Right, it doesn't matter who
to go to your. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because with the Discord, that's what Hayden and I pretty much we've been trying to promote, especially with the group in the Discord. Is word of mouth really helps. Obviously, I mean it's not the whole thing. Clearly, I mean,
but I think it's one of the better ways.
Right, it's probably one of the quickest ways.
Advertising.
It's the best advertising. There you go. To get your name out there and get your your head above the water, but it's like you said, if your content is lacking, for a better term, then it doesn't matter who points their finger at you or how many people point the finger at you. You're not going to succeed, right? Or you're not going to get watched. You're not going to get watched because they're not enjoying the contents.
Right. One of my biggest issues is that I feel like sometimes I'm crafting things and I'm thinking to myself, like, sure, I'm going to use this, but are other people going to use it? So it's like this is gonna look pretty epic, but I don't think anybody's gonna use this outside of me here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I mean, in all honesty, when it comes to crafting, and I find this with a ton of, because I've watched Jeremy, I've watched TM Scotty, a bunch of guys, Wylock's crafting videos, all these guys, and a lot of times they're building things that clearly, like you said, they're gonna use, right? They're building stuff like, well, I need this for my game,
right?
But is it something that I'm gonna build? Probably not. But within that process, and I watch these videos because it's like, I'm not gonna build a watermill or a windmill. I'm not gonna build one, but the process he used to build the windmill, I may use.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So
that's exactly how I look at other people's videos. I don't always look at what they build. I look at like little places. Like let's say that there's a section where I'm like, oh, this looks really cool on the wall. I wonder how they did that.
Or how strong are the fans? How did he attach them to make them durable? Like
right.
Or even like what painting techniques. Like I watched
one of your friends, Frankie, is Scott. I can't do that last word. Salvage. Scott
Oh,
Salvage.
Yeah.
He found Frankie via the Tabletop Crafters Guild. There's a couple other ones like Crits here.
No, he's one of them. He's been. I think he's been watching me from the beginning because I've seen him all the way through from the start, 2019. I keep seeing his name. Yeah,
that's cool. Stick with him, Scott. He's still blowing up, so stick with him.
I look at his stuff. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. I might steal a little pieces from here and there and use them on my builds.
Got a YouTube channel?
No, he's on the Crafters Guild and on certain Discords too.
Okay.
I don't have any.
He posts his work. I always keep an eye on people's work.
Yeah, I do the same thing. You got to keep your eye out for talent, and I think that's what like we were saying before with the Discord that we started. The goal is to the community, right? Like I could completely absorb myself in my channel and that's it, right? Because it's my brand and I got to protect it. But I feel like if we help everybody else come up, we come up. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
right?
It's just a community thing, right? Like one succeeds, they all succeed. One fails, they all fail. You know what I mean? So I always keep my eye open for that kind of talent. Like I said, for talent, like people coming up.
Start talking more in the Discord, Frankie. Te voy a encontrar.
It's gonna stalk you on Discord, bro.
But we got you don't 3D print, huh, Frank, at all? No.
I have a 3D printer. I don't use it that much.
Why?
I just like half of actually doing this stuff is building it. Like I enjoy building this stuff. The times I have used the 3D printer was not actually to craft anything big. I can craft big things. It's to craft like little weapons and stuff like that. That stuff I can't.
Yeah, that's like your golem, which I have on the list too. Your golem. I mean, like I 3D print little bitty tiny skulls. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, stuff like that. You can just print all kinds of skulls and bones and.
Right.
So that's kind of stuff that's nice because that's the kind of. It's like
it's
like the seasoning.
Expensive.
Yeah, it's like the seasoning you add to your terrain. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit of the sprinkle crystals. You put on it. Yeah.
That's another thing I print is crystals and shit.
Mm-hmm. And it's called, like you said, skulls are expensive, man. Like Games Workshop has a whole box of them. But it's like $50 for a box of skulls. You're like, wait a second.
And the other thing I don't like about those is that I get it. Like a lot of people like it to be like proportionate, but to me they're just like so small. Like I used it on one of my builds. I don't have a video on it, but it just the heads look too small. And when I built the skull golem, I was like, I'm not gonna make this proportional. It's gonna look like crap.
Yeah,
I gotta have different like skulls and stuff like that.
Well, it gives it a unique look too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that paint job you put on that bitch was cool as fuck. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah,
that's the newest video. He made the weapon. The weapon's a popsicle stick.
Yes, yeah. I was surprised actually.
Let me see. Wait, and I'm not on my account, so I have advertising.
Just real quick, Scotty, you got to get yourself a YouTube channel, buddy, or come on the Tabletop Dungeoneers Discord server. So you can show off some of the work, brother. We can definitely appreciate the creativity.
Look at that paint job.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
I got some pictures in the video. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah, because I was looking through your Snake Mountain video. But you had 2 videos on Snake. You had more than 2 on Snake.
I had like 3. I had one showcasing it. That's that around the time I was moving, so I kind of got backed up, and I was like, I got to make 3 videos out of this because I put so much work into this.
You like doing that? Actually, because I don't like doing more than 1 video.
I don't actually. I feel like it doesn't. Like the first video does really well, and then the other ones don't.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time on the Discord, man, because they drop like 3 or 4 videos in a row. I'm like, bro, I'm not watching 4 videos in a row. Like, schedule your videos. Same thing. Yeah, schedule your videos so that you can drop them once, twice a week, and people. No, watch them,
I did separate them like weekly stuff, but like I feel like once they see the finished product, they're not too inclined to look at the how you build it.
They're like, I already know how he did it.
Yeah, exactly. Or some people don't even think about. They just want to see the finished product. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
So I got Scott Halloween skulls from the dollar store skeleton pack, or my go-to for skulls.
That's where I go. Yeah,
it's not a bad idea.
I use them too. Like I got a couple altars that I use beads for and all that to do it. But when it comes to like, it depends. When it comes to a miniature base, then no, I use my little 3D printed skulls. I use those.
Yeah, I think I am gonna start printing the skulls.
What kind of printer do you have, huh? An FDM or a resin?
Resin.
Oh, which one?
Crab.
No.
I haven't used it in so long.
He just got excited.
Elgu, Mars, Saturn. No. Longer.
No. It's not like cube something.
Any cube? Photon.
There you go. Yes.
Mira, pero how old are you, viejito?
Oh, man.
Y se lo olvida todo.
No, it's not even. Dude, I used it like 3 times. And then I was like, I'm going to craft this stuff instead.
Well, hey, bro, if you need any help with that, I'm not a pro, but I watch the pros and I know a little bit about it. And
I know Danny from 3D tabletop printing. And there's a few of his friends like Dilling from Critical Crafting. He's really good with the printer. That's the people that kind of walked me through how to use it.
Okay.
Yeah. If anything, I would use them for minis, like to print minis.
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Well, I can't craft that.
Minis and like I said, like flocking, skulls, crystals.
Yeah. Man, if I had a fucking printer, forget about it. That bitch would be burning off at the wheels.
He won't get it. He won't get one.
No space.
You buy Gundams every week.
I'd be printing my own.
You could be printing your own Gundam.
Yep. I got RC parts that I could print out. There's tons of stuff I could use a printer for. Shacho.
You ain't printing no Gundam.
Watch me.
We'll never see you, dude. We'll never see you. You'll be gone. You'll be gone for 2 weeks straight.
My buddy just printed out that paint pot holder that Quinn just made. He printed it out overnight. It took him 15 hours to print that bitch.
I know. What did he print it?
Because it's the detail.
No.
Yeah.
No, eso no importa. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, that doesn't matter actually. Yeah.
No, it must have been his layer height. It had to be a steady.
It had to be tall as hell.
No, that doesn't. No. On a photon, that doesn't matter either.
You're right.
No, he FDM printed that. I guarantee you. He didn't.
Yeah, he FDM printed it.
He
Yeah.
didn't resin print that, but that doesn't matter. I mean, I've got a set over here, like the ones you have, but it's got the slot for the Dungeoneer keychain.
Uh-huh.
I've got, I mean, God, I think it was 6 hours for one.
Yeah, he printed out. He said it was like 15 hours. I think.
He must have put more than one on the bed, dude.
I don't think so. I don't know.
So.
I'll find out. I'll see when he brings it to me. I'll see the quality and I'll know.
Because I mean, mine's aren't. I did mine's at I think 0.7 layer height or 0.8, 0.08, something like that. Which is, I mean, that's nice. You know, photon generic is like 0.05, so that's 0.08 is pretty nice. And yeah, like I think 6 hours, something like that. And my printer sucks, dude. It's broken now.
That's what you get.
How long have you had it for?
Mine's, man, I mean, I'll tell you the story. They all know it. Zero knows it. I bought mine, man, like 3 years ago. It was when printers weren't cheap, and then the cheapest printers you could get were DIYs. You know, it come in a box in pieces.
I saw a while. This was a long time ago. I saw you reviewing the
longer.
I don't remember which printer it was.
It was a resin printer, the longer.
Yeah. You sent it back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was that one?
They fucked over me.
Yeah. I remember that.
They fucked over me. It wasn't until I got on Amazon and they saw my video review that they were like, "Hey, we're sorry, we'll replace it." And I was like, "Nah, fuck you now. I don't want my money back." Yeah, dude. Because I was texting them. I spent like the whole, I don't know, like 4 days texting them. It's in the video. How long I was texting them and messaging them and asking them, and they wouldn't respond to me. And like I said, it wasn't. Go ahead.
Until the review.
Yeah, it wasn't until the review and I got on Amazon that they were like, "Hey, you take down video." I even got the email where they told me if I take down the video that they'll give me a FDM printer. They'll replace it and give me an FDM printer. But the dude wouldn't come flat out and say it. He just kept hitting at it like, "Do you want an FDM printer?" And I was like, and I kept asking him, "Well, what I got to do?" And he was like, "Well, we would like if you would take," but he wouldn't tell me if you take down the video. You get what I'm saying? He wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
Right.
Stick it to the man, bro.
I would have been like, send it first.
At that point, I don't want nothing from you anymore, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, for that, what's the point? I mean, what are you going to send me a brand new printer for it to break?
So if it breaks and then you won't talk to me again?
Yeah, exactly. Because you already got what you wanted. I mean, like I said, you did what you did, and that's stick with your guns, dude. That's it. You know?
Yeah, I had to go through Amazon to return that thing. Because I gave up on them. I went through Amazon and I told them, and then I left the bad review and everything. And Amazon gave my money back right away, of course.
Yeah, they'll do. Yeah.
But yeah, man, don't fuck with longer. If anything, go with like Anycubic, and Anycubic right now because of COVID is pretty bad too. So I wouldn't even mess with them right now.
Yeah, everything is just really. I'm noticing like just everything's creeping up in price. It's just like, wait a minute, like what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like in especially in the hobbies because it's non-essential, you know. So it's all going up. Like it's like, but I said this before. I'm like, if you guys didn't buy ahead of time. You know, you got to pay that price, right? Like you're stuck paying that extra cost. Like I should have got it last week. Yeah, you should have, you know, but you didn't.
Discord link expired. That's weird.
Oh, did it?
Okay, I don't know.
Scotty's trying to get in, man. Don't keep Scotty out.
No, we gotta get Scotty.
You gotta get Scotty in there. So, Frankie, you play Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yeah.
Is there any other RPGs you play or any tabletop games or board games, anything like that? I know you say you play video games and stuff.
Yeah, no, I stick to I just stick to D&D. I wanted to do more because honestly I didn't know anything else I found out D&D existed and I got stuck in like, oh shoot, like this is the only thing like it. Eventually, obviously, you know, I found out more and I was just like, well, I'm too deep into this.
Right.
I don't know if I have time to explore other game systems kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And because I spend a lot of time crafting and everything too, so a lot of the time is really devoted to like D&D. I mean, obviously, like Pathfinder too. I love the Pathfinder monster manuals. I wish I could have that for like literally D&D. I mean, I basically use it for D&D, but the Pathfinder monster books, I'm always looking at that stuff for inspiration.
I mean, yeah, because there's like the Dungeons and Dragons now. I think the 5th edition now has a ton of. Damn, there's like monsters in every freaking book that comes out.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's like so keeping up with the Joneses. You know, like if you're like, well, I want to have every monster manual or every book that has monsters in it, you're gonna be spending a shit ton of money just to catch up. You know, because you know, but you can get them digitally. I know that, and I don't know where is that, but I know that you could get them digitally because a buddy of mine sent me a link and it had every book that was printed out thus far digitally.
Wow.
And I actually printed out a Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Monster Manual before I actually bought my hardcovers, because I was like, I want to read these books, because I was big into 3.5 Dungeons Dragons, and I bought a shit ton of the 3.5 books and the Forgotten Realms books, and I was like, look, I can't. This $30 a book, it's just not gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying? So when I started 5th edition, I was like, I'll get the starter set and I'll check that out. And then, you know, I eventually bought the main books because it was like around Christmas and they were on a super sale. So I was like, you know what, I'll grab them because there's not going to be that. They're never going to be that cheap again.
Right.
And they haven't been. And I got them, but I got the original ones. I copied them and printed them out because it's like, let me read this shit and see if it's even worth, you know, diving into fifth edition. Because like I have a lot of friends we've been role playing since we were kids, you know. And I love my boys, but they're the kind of boys is like every game's like they're in. You know what I'm saying? Every video game that comes out, they're on it. Every RPG that comes out, they're on it. It's like, hey, look, I can't. I got other hobbies. I can't do that
anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, it was like it took me a long. Like literally, I have not run my first 5th edition game yet.
Really?
Yeah, I have not run it yet. I'm prepping to run it, but I haven't run one yet because it just takes me a long time to jump on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Like when the PlayStation 4 came out. It took me almost 2 years to get one because I was like, I'm not just gonna jump on it just because it's fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
you're also just so much more familiar with 3.5 that it's just you're so much more comfortable in that zone.
Yeah.
Look, the PlayStations, all of them are doing it. Apple, all of them. I bought my old lady, my wife. She pre-ordered my PS4 Pro. I mean, the PS4, and man, I think it might have worked for maybe 2 years, and it broke.
Your what? Your PS4?
Yeah. Yep. It started overheating, and everything took forever, booting it up, everything. And I got mine at launch.
Man, bro, you got terrible luck with technology.
Dude, I know,
dude. They do that.
All my PlayStations still work.
But if you look, go use a PlayStation that you bought earlier than the announcement of the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Go look at it. And
now, I'll tell you the truth.
You're going to see that all of a sudden at that time, once they announce that PS4 Pro, your quality, the everything, the processing, everything is going to slow down. You're going to see. It's because they update the OS.
I do have a PS2. It's sitting in the closet. It's like the original the real big case one that's like the chrome and stuff. And it got the yellow light and it never, I think I have Resident Evil 4 still stuck inside there. It froze.
Oh no!
And I took it to a service shop not too far from here, and they serviced it. They fixed it. I got it working again. I was like, sweet. Started playing, and it froze again. I was like, mother. I haven't even messed with it. It's sitting in the closet. But my PS3 and my PS4, they've been fine. You know, with the exception of whatever little quirks you get. Like he said, once the new system comes out, the older ones get a little slower. Because they don't support them as much, you know.
No, it's because they update the operating system and it bogs down. Bogs down the old chip.
Yeah, because the old chips can't handle it.
So my thing, you know, is they're doing it on purpose because all they got to do is not update that operating system to that point. That's all they have to do. But they don't do it that way.
I mean, they do it so that you
keep
go buy
one version of the OS, and it's PlayStation. It's the PlayStation OS. They keep one version of it, and it's on all the platforms, and it bogs down. Apple does the same thing.
Apple got caught doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, that's why I don't buy Apple. My wife and my daughter
all do that.
iPhones, but
Apple got caught doing it, and then everybody came out and said, "Man, we need to adopt the Apple model." They all said it.
Bastards.
After they got caught doing it, they all said it.
It was the worst shit. And so like, yeah, we're gonna copy that.
Yeah.
What kind of sense does that make?
No, because it's a good model because everybody was freaking out because like every 2 years, every other year, something like that, everybody runs out to buy the new Apple product.
Yeah.
Everybody runs out, so apparently it works.
So
what else we got?
I don't know.
You play video games, Frankie? What you playing?
Oh man, see.
You play Mobile Legends?
No.
I'm play Mobile Legends. Get Mobile Legends.
All right,
Nobody will play with me, dude. Nobody.
What?
You know anything about MOBAs?
No.
No, mobile online battle arenas.
No, never got into it.
Okay.
I mean, right.
So what do you play now, Frankie?
Right now I'm not really playing anything, but I play games like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest to me is a huge inspiration. That's my jellies. You guys call them the jellies?
Yeah.
They're like that's where the slimes come from.
Okay.
What's it called?
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest.
Yeah. So the story about that is I grew up in a farm. I didn't know what a video game was.
They are from there, like the old NES games. I remember seeing them.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. That's one of the ways I actually learned how to speak English. I got the game. It was in English. Had no idea what it said. I would write down all the crap that the characters would say, and I'd take it to school and ask my teacher what this meant.
Oh, that's cool though. That's cool.
And then the same thing happened with SpongeBob. Actually, I learned the weirdest ways possible.
That's cool.
My teachers just like they were like, "Where are you getting this crap from?" Like, don't worry about it. Just tell me what it says.
You're killing me.
You play Zelda games, man?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my all-time favorite Zelda.
My favorite Zelda game is the one for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, so like A Link to the Past.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the best one. Like, God, if you ask any Zelda fan.
Right. I like the new ones and everything. I'm not like knocking them, but that one stands out to me the most. Like, I don't know, as a kid, it blew me away when you think that the game's done, and then you have to play it all over again in the dark world.
Yep.
It's just like, all right, I'm down for this.
Yeah, I remember, man. Because Zero keeps telling me I should upload, because I did a Hyrulean Shield and I turned it into a clock, and Zero keeps telling me I should upload it. So I was like recording it yesterday, and I was thinking about that like back, because man, when I started playing, we're talking Atari, right? And back then, video games only had one screen basically. There weren't too many. I mean, you think Burger Time, Donkey Kong, it's one freaking screen. I don't care what you say. And then, man, I remember when the first gold cartridge came out, and all those, the map was so big. I was like, wow, dude. Man, every time I was at school thinking about getting home to play Zelda, dude.
Yeah.
Those days. Blowing in the cartridge.
Yeah. Somebody bumps it, you almost kill them because like the game freezes.
Yeah, Nintendo Power. I remember that. But you remember you used to have to leave your video games on because you couldn't save. Not Zelda, but other ones. You had to leave them on.
Yes, I remember that.
And houses would burn down and shit.
Burn up the damn fucking Nintendo,
yeah, a lot of those games didn't have saves. They just didn't have them.
Yeah. But I mean, you think about how far you've come in just this little bit of time, right? Like
it's crazy.
We've gone pretty damn far with video game technology.
I mean, even just comparing Breath of the Wild to
Breath of the Wild sucked.
You didn't like it?
It was beautiful.
Wait.
Breath of the Wild is beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
The open worldness of it is very entertaining. Cool. You find lots. It's really fun to play in the open world. But as far as there's 4 dungeons, I don't like the shrines, and the battle with Ganon is freaking easy.
Dude, I have I want to say over 50 hours on that. I have not beat one of the main dungeons.
Well, my little 10-year-old beat them all.
No. I literally just when I play that game, I literally just walk around and think like, oh man, that would be cool to craft. Oh man, that would be cool to craft. Like I'm literally just exploring it. I'm not even. Ganon can destroy the world. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's funny you say that, because I remember when I actually started crafting scenery for the first time. Now I've been building models since I was a little kid, right? Like cars and planes. That's all academic. We did that shit as kids. I played with clay. We molded stuff out of clay as kids because that's all we had. But I didn't actually start crafting scenery for a long time, till my adulthood. And I remember playing Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
That was a good game.
The Soul Reaver game. And I remember just being blown away by everywhere you went in that world, all the castles and the structures and just the way they designed everything. The terrain was just it wasn't like accurate, like historically accurate. It was like askew. You know what I'm saying? Like just a bit to the side, just a bit twisted. And I was like, man, I want to do everything that I do. I want to do like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what inspired me. I did the same thing. I played the game just to walk around and look at all the different pieces of terrain that they had put into that game. Like, what could I make? What out of that can I build? And how can I make it look like that? Like off kilter a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, when we did the fantasy village, you know, for our tabletop gaming, you know, everything I designed from paper to finished product, I said it's got to be off. It can't be, the lines
can't be perfect,
parallel. They cannot be perfect. It has to be.
One of my art teachers, I feel like dealing with it. One of my art teachers was always like if you do something like this or this, it's boring. Like, give it some dynamic. Like, make it tell a story by simply changing the angle of it.
That's it exactly.
My teacher taught me to always use odd numbers.
Odd numbers?
Yep. She always taught me. She said, if you're gonna paint two seagulls, if you're gonna paint seagulls, don't paint two. Paint 1 or 3.
Because she must drink a lot, or he must drink a lot. No. That's like a thing. I don't know why. Like if you put like olives, like you're not supposed to put like 2 or 4. It has to be 1 or 3. Yeah.
Same thing with ice cubes. It's the same thing with ice cubes. Yeah.
Your teacher was a drunk.
She was an alcoholic.
You leave Betty alone, man.
She's like, that looks good. Keep going. Looks good.
You said your teacher was a drunk.
Miss Johnson was an alcoholic.
Her name was Betty, man. Miss Betty.
She's like, real good job, Hate. Good job.
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah, it looks great. It looks great.
I like how you got all the lines real straight.
No, but I meant, man, I mean, my line's terrible, dude. My line's always all have been.
You know, it's funny. When I was doing the village, right? Like, we had one of my buddies, you know, he's a great fabricator, like probably the best fabricator I've ever met. Like, when it comes to scenery and all that stuff. Like, if I said, Joe, I'm going to draw you a simple picture. He's like, okay, done. He could fabricate it, no doubt. But his biggest problem was he never did any construction, any carpentry, anything like that. So, you know, the philosophy, you measure twice, cut once, right? Yep. Well, his belief was, you know, you measure once, cut 4 times, you know, so you just keep cutting down until it fits where you need it to fit. So I had to learn how to, because it would frustrate the hell out of me. Like, I would look at something like, dude, why did you cut this like that? You wasted a bunch of foam, blah, 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 blah. So I had to learn how to utilize that talent, right? Like, because no matter what I said or how I showed him, he was still going to cut 3 times. So I took advantage. I just started drawing everything in a way so that when he went to go fabricate, I would get the result I was looking for, because he was going to measure off. You know what I'm saying? From where he was using his ruler.
You're planning ahead. You're kind of like, oh, I know he's going to cut this crap all wrong, so let me measure it wrong.
Exactly.
So I would get right
measurements so that he could. So I'll be like, okay, that's perfect. That's boom, done.
That's engineering.
That's genius if you think about it, because he basically like figured out how much he was off by.
It was rough, dude. And I could remember, like, there was arguments. We would throw shit at each other. I'm like, dude, how are you? This is the picture I drew. This is what you made. How are you seeing them the same, right? It was like, I'm blind and I can see that they're not the same, right?
Right.
So rather than get to that point where we just wouldn't work together, I was like, no, he's like one of the best people at this in my entire group next to me. You know, because I can fabricate as well, but it was like, yo, I'm not going to do everything myself, right? This is a club, we're a group. So that's why I said, you know what, I'll just start utilizing that skew talent of his, you know, and we worked it out, and from there it was pretty awesome. You know?
So tell me about this Illuminati lighthouse thing. What's going on here?
Man, if I was to craft it, like, for myself, like the lighthouse I did for the channel, this is probably what I would have crafted for myself.
Really?
Like, for me, I'm always thinking as backwards as possible. So this is like a golem that's literally like has a, what do you call those? Like a light in his hand. What do you? And that's it. It's a flashlight. Yeah. It's a giant like earth golem that looks like a house that is holding a flashlight. That's my lighthouse.
So it's like a mimic flashlight.
I mean, it looks like it could just be an earth golem with a magical light, like permanent light spell in his hand,
and a whole bunch of
bug
monsters.
That is totally crazy, dude. That is so.
And what are the little flying monsters?
They're like, I don't know. They're just like, oh man. So Dragon Quest has a whole bunch of puns for their monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured like these were mosquitoes. Don't laugh, bro. Don't laugh.
No. It's bonito. And then this is all like we were talking earlier. You draw, right? And
I always draw it out first, pen and ink,
digital paint it,
and then I paint it on the computer.
And what do you use in the digital paint?
Whatever I have. So sometimes I use Sketch. Now I have Photoshop, so I've been using Photoshop.
Oh, okay, fancy.
Fancy.
It's not mine. I'm watching it off my girlfriend.
Fancy.
Real quick, Scotty says it's the same thing with him and Skyrim. So I'm assuming it's for me. Scotty, I feel the same way. I haven't played Skyrim, but I wanted to because of that same reason. Because I like sandboxes because sandbox games, you get to wander around and you get to see that stuff. And like I said, the designers that created it, they had the right idea, right? Like obviously the aesthetics of the game fit all together, right? So that's why I play those games. So you go out and you wander around.
Single player, right? Skyrim is single player.
Yeah, I think it's online, multiplayer online. Like I think you can play. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
I've only ever seen single player. Is it, Frankie? Do you know?
I've only seen my friends playing it like by themselves.
Single player. I think so. I think, and that's why like I was like never interested because I single player games other than Zelda, really. Honestly.
I'm the opposite.
I'm the opposite too.
Really? Multiplayer games?
I want to take credit for the adventure.
I like single player.
I love smashing other players.
I like single player sandbox games.
I love it, dude.
Those are my favorite, the sandboxes.
I love multiplayer with PvP in it, and the more open the PvP, the better. The longer I'll sit there. No, dude, I'll sit there in town, and I won't let anybody quest. And I love
He's a hater for real.
I love it, dude. I'll sit there, I'll teabag you. I love doing that, dude.
So I was the last game I played was The Last of Us, but before that was Batman Arkham Knight, and I was playing it, and I was playing it for like I think I played for like 6.5 hours one night. I don't know how I just wound up. I got off at like 4:30 in the morning before my wife got up to go to work, and my son was like, "Yeah, I just played Batman. I played like 6.5 hours." He's like, "Oh, cool. Did you get very far?" I was like, "No." I literally spent 6.5 hours wandering around the city, getting in the, just because you can get into fights and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I didn't do shit for this game. And I stopped playing it because I was like, damn, that's 6.5 hours. I'm not getting back, dude. Like, so, but you can get lost. Good though. It does.
The
phenomenal.
Game looks good.
Yeah. And you can get lost in that game like for hours, dude, like without even accomplishing anything, and that's the you know what I mean. So, and you beat up a group of guys, you go back 5 minutes, they're right there again. You're like,
they're right there.
In VR too, huh?
Say what?
There's a Batman VR game.
I think there is. Yeah,
there's a Batman VR game. So Frankie, I'm gonna guess at this thing. This is a chess piece, right?
No.
God damn it! I thought for sure I had it. It was the chess piece. It was the.
Wait, no. I'm not saying it wasn't inspired by like a chess piece because you're talking about the top part, right?
The crown.
Well, I mean everything. He's on a base, and he's like, because kings, there's a way you could look at kings that they're actually chained into their kingdom, and they're not allowed.
No, you know what that looks like to me, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what that looks like. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it's an anime. It was a video game too called Dante's Inferno.
Oh, okay.
That looks like.
That's a good story.
That looks like the Judgment, the guy who like lets you into limbo.
Is that what
that's
it is?
That's who that looks like.
No, but I could say I played that game around the time where I drew that. So
you played Dante's Inferno? I never played it.
I played it till I got to Lust, and I got so frustrated. I was like, I'm done with this game. I was like,
no, I beat the game. It was really cool, but there's like 2 or 3 monsters from that game I want to craft.
Yeah.
And one of them is gluttony. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember him. I mean, not off the top. Like
that thing looked cool. That's one of the things I want to craft.
In the anime that they put out, Mark Hamill did the voice for Gluttony.
There was, what I liked about that movie? It was a lot of different artworks.
Yes, it was all different artists. It was really well done. I mean, I'm not a fan of some of their styles, but I
appreciated seeing them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, in that context of that story, they worked really well. Right. Like if I was to watch a different anime with their style, like I'm not really feeling this style. But in that context, in the context of the tragic comedy, it worked really well. It's definitely a good story. Like it's definitely, you know, and they have a nice twist on it. I like it.
Yeah.
Which one, Frankie?
It's the gluttony. It's like literally
This one?
it's like the thing with teeth.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no,
so
no,
this
no.
guy over here.
No, that's that
Yeah,
guy
I
right
think
there.
so. Yeah, that one.
That's Gluttony.
That. It's something like that.
Yeah.
I really like the face and the teeth and
It's just
everything.
it was like a Cerberus, kind of like a Cerberus. It had multi heads, but it was like basically giant mouths that just consumed everything.
And I think like the hands were mouths too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
Please
pretty
like that
sick.
on here.
Like I said, the design, it's anime, so the design aspect from the studios were just on point for these, you know what I mean, like for the characters. So yeah.
For this painting too, I was I don't know if you guys have ever. This is one of my favorite games of all time, like Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys.
You have it.
It's yeah, dude. That's one of my favorite games of
all
time.
Dude, that game is awesome, bro. That game is phenomenal.
It's so empty. It looks like they never finished it.
Dude,
you don't know, bro.
At the end, dude, I'm not gonna spoil it, but at the end, the I don't know how they did it, but you feel like such a crappy person for beating the game.
Yeah,
like that's how good the game was.
When the truth is revealed, you're like, well, I suck.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're like,
so what? Like all the Titans were keeping balance or something? I guess.
No, man. I can't even say it. You just gotta.
You gotta.
To me, all right. Compare Shadow of Colossus to Breath of the Wild's open world, and it's like you tell me. You told me yourself you can get lost in Breath of the Wild's open world. Can you get lost in the Shadow of Colossus open world?
To a degree, yes. You could go almost anywhere.
To me, it wasn't about getting lost. Because the game like literally tells you where.
No, but I don't
go.
mean when I say lost, I don't mean like I don't know where I'm going. I mean like you could just enjoy.
No.
You could
exactly. Yeah. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I would get lost when I actually get to the boss. Like I would prolong the fights so that I could like basically get a feel for like the monster that you're fighting, like the boss you're fighting.
The area that you're in and everything like that. Yeah.
I didn't send you a picture, but I basically I got the head of it right here. I'll show it to you in a second. I made a life-size gorilla colossal for like an art project for school a long time ago, and on the back of it, it was like a graveyard. You could literally play D&D on top of this sculpture. It was.
Wow. How big is it?
It was bigger than me. The sculpture was bigger than me.
Wow,
that's cool.
So, and the whole back of it was like this graveyard.
Oh, I gotta see that. You gotta.
But I would have to send you pictures. But all I have left from it is like the head. Let me bring it right now.
All right.
Yeah.
So we still didn't find out completely what this is all about from his perspective.
You say what now?
I say we didn't give him a chance to answer what this is, what inspired him and what this painting is.
We'll give it to him. We'll give it to him.
I don't even know if you could see it.
I can't on there. I have no clue if they can.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. Can't you
see like a stone gorilla?
This was the head.
Wow.
And it was all made out of cardboard.
Wow.
And the eyes, you turn off the lights, they glow. This was just the head. So the whole body was cool. I'm very proud of it. I'm gonna send you pictures. I'll put it on the Discord.
Yes.
I'll send pictures on the Discord.
Please do, because that's some inspiring shit. So
you can't put them up now?
No, I'd have to, because I'm using the phone and everything.
What's up, Frankie? So real quick, what inspired you besides that? What inspired you to paint this painting? What was what was behind it?
I think mainly was like video games are always such a big influence to me because you gotta think about it. Like when I was growing up in a farm and everything, I honestly thought that Mexico was the whole world.
I believe that. I believe that.
And I came to the USA and it just got bigger, right? And then I found out about like what do you call it? Fantasy worlds. So now it got even bigger because it wasn't just like our world is our world, right? Like you can make up your own worlds at that point. And it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I think I try to always put that forward in anything I make, like artwork. I always want to take somebody somewhere else.
Okay. I mean,
so
it definitely looks like it in this painting. You know?
Yeah,
it's definitely otherworldly, and there's definitely you're telling a story here, and an entire world. Because I mean, just the view, just the look of everything. I mean, like I said, your skew on everything
If,
you know what I'm saying?
If I were to craft this, I would literally because the idea was that this thing is chained to this platform, right? These platforms are kind of like levitating off the ground, and right in between his hands, that's where like the dungeon entrance is. So he's like chained.
Cool.
He's chained to protect the dungeon entrance. Like nobody's allowed to go in there.
Right. So that explains the base. The base is actually the dungeon.
Yeah. And if you notice, like the thing I like about like digital work is you can super zoom in into the bricks, and you can see some of like the where the dungeon kind of comes out, like a window for the dungeon. And so it puts him in perspective. Like, you know, those pillars are actually like real pillars. That's how much bigger he is than everything else. So humans to him are like even smaller than ants, kind of thing.
Yeah, you can see on the side panel there's like little windows in some of the bricks.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. You know, and it's funny because when I saw it initially, I thought colossal.
Yeah.
Because it just looks like something that would be a colossal sized thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, not because, because look how thick those chains are, how thick they got to be to hold something down that big. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely has that appearance of size. Yeah. Very nice.
You got a chain going through his ear.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that's got those big hoop earrings and everything.
Yeah. Oh man.
And there's more back here in the background too, right?
So there's a whole bunch of them.
Dungeons. Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
Oh wow. Very cool.
And there's more way in the back. Let me we got number 3. This one's my favorite here. That one's my favorite.
Wow.
If you look at it, it took me a second to look at it because I was looking at it and then I was like, man, this thing looks like an eye right here, and then that's another eye, and then I finally realized I was like, oh, this is the mouth, and this is where it's crawling over these buildings.
Yeah, the inside of its mouth is basically like a swamp.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
I'm from the bayou.
Wow.
Scott said nice, by the way, when you held up that
the head. The head. Yeah.
Yeah. You can show it again. I'm gonna see if I can full screen you. I think I know how to do it. Look at me, I'm so fancy. Look at that.
Wow, mira qué bonito. Wow.
Qué bonito. Yeah, this thing was huge. This is all chewed up because
you gotta paint that.
I was gonna actually like put stuff on top of it, but it was too big. I just couldn't keep it. All of this torn up thing is I had a squirrel for a while. I rehabilitated it, and they love to chew on cardboard. So
yeah.
They definitely destroy this.
That's okay. How was having a squirrel? That's probably cool.
It's the coolest thing I've ever. It's just the coolest thing ever. It's hard to explain.
Wow.
I'd come home, they'd give me a hug. It was like weird.
Wow.
I've got a friend in real life that has one of those. I think they call them sugar bears. You ever heard of those?
Sugar baby.
No.
Squirrel.
Sugar baby.
No. It's not a sugar bear.
It's
a sugar glider, something like that.
There you go.
It's because my nephew had one. Yeah. They spread their little. They fly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They've got flaps in between their arms, their front legs and their back legs, and they can fly. Well, not fly, they glide, right?
They glide. Yeah. It's pretty cool though to watch them do it. It's almost like slow motion.
Yeah, that little thing will sit up in her shirt right here to just stay there, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's tits. I guess I would too.
Yeah. I have a buddy up in Rockford who's got.
Tell us about this Titan here, man.
Oh man, I made this a long time ago. When I started this, I started with the temple actually. I was just making a temple, but I was never really good at drawing terrain. Yeah, like architecture and drawing. And to compensate for that, I just put a giant ass monster, which I've always been good at that. So
the trick is simply, honestly, just draw it in isometric. That's the trick. To lay it out, just like the drafters do and all that. Lay out your lines and draw it in isometric and just pull everything.
Perspective, like a forced perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
They teach you how to do that in architectural drafting. Like that's the first thing is how to do perspective drawings.
I did that.
I had it for a semester in school. I didn't like it. It was too constricting.
I liked it.
I mean, I liked what the results were. I liked the results of architectural drafting. It's beautiful work, but I just didn't. I was not good at that constricting.
But I learned AutoCAD like R14 in 2000. It's just I haven't fucked with it in so long, and it's like, and then getting a copy of AutoCAD is whew. AutoCAD. It's like buying Photoshop, you know.
Yeah, I don't have Photoshop. I gotta get Photoshop.
I liked it when you just bought it and it was yours.
Yeah. Now everything's.
Yeah, now you gotta subscribe, huh?
Right. It makes no
Painter X,
sense
too.
to me still.
Get Painter X.
What's your what's
Rivers
up?
is here. What's up, Rivers?
What's up, Rivers?
I
Frankie,
got
what's
Painter
your...
X. Nah, espérate.
Okay.
I got Painter X, and my sister's a teacher, so that's what I used. I get her teacher email, and I get software at teacher discount.
Yeah.
Like 2 copies of Painter X for like $120.
My girlfriend gets the student discount.
There you go. Painter X is, I mean, it's not Photoshop, but it's pretty good. It's made by Corio.
What's your favorite or not favorite? That's a stupid question. What is your go-to for when you're doing your crafting? What is your go-to paints? And you know, like, is it like Games Workshop, Army Painter, or is it Michael's Craft Store paint? Because there's the guys on the Discord that have different opinions about this, and I have my own.
Yeah. It really depends, honestly. On the snake mountain video, I misspoke. I think I said like I'm not using craft paints anymore. But what I meant to say was like I'm not using them for certain things anymore. When I'm trying to paint something and it takes like 4 or 5 layers to get it done, I'd rather just use a paint that gets it done in 2 layers.
Boom.
Or 1,
yeah.
You know, something like that. Right.
Not me.
Right. Because craft cheap, like that cheap craft paint, there's actually some good colors they have that actually work just as well as miniature painting.
But I think
you gotta find them.
Exactly. You gotta find those colors.
But that's restrictive too to the color itself. Like
and that's the thing that bothers me about like the dime store craft paints is that there is no consistency in that line. Like you could have
it costs more to make red opaque. It costs more.
Sure, but I mean, you got to have some consistency, right? Like, I mean, you know, if I'm buying these paints, right, and I buy craft paint, I have a whole bag full of craft paints, you know, because we do all different kinds of crafts here. But, you know, what I don't like is the yellow is not as consistent as the green. The green is not as consistent as the brown. The brown is way more consistent than the gray. And it's just like, come on, like, I have to work differently for each freaking bottle of paint.
You kind of have to figure it out.
Yeah, there's a formula there, sure. But with like Games Workshop or Army Painter, I know that that's going to take me 2 thin coats to get a solid color, right? And it's going to dry a certain amount of time, and I know that, right? So
right.
Painting scenery, like back in the day when we were painting scenery, we used Games Workshop paint. I didn't know, okay, you could go to Michael's and get craft store paint and totally save money. We just used Games Workshop because that's what the colors we needed, right? And the stuff turned out phenomenal. Now knowing what I know, okay, I'm going to use some craft store paint on some of the bigger terrain projects because you're wasting a ton of paint and those bottles aren't cheap. But when it comes to miniatures or things like that, I go with the best quality paint I can get because in the end, that miniature is going to represent that, right? Like you're going to see it. When you're done painting, you're going to know, okay, this is completely chalky or washed out because this damn green paint was chalky. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I'd just rather use the better paint knowing that that's the end result. It's going to give me the best result I can possibly get, you know? Right. I'm not the greatest painter, so it's like, well, I'm not the greatest painter, but if I use crappy paints to do it, it's going to show that even more.
Right. No. I think, I don't know if I mentioned that in the video, but for me, it's like, it's easier to see my flaws when I'm using bad paint. Yeah. Like, I think it's easier to hide your mistakes when you're using good paint.
There's also like priming models. Like when you primer your models, the old school techniques, right? If you primered in black, you were a beginner, right? Like they say, oh, you're a beginner, you're primering in black because black hides all your mistakes. You already have pre-shaded areas, pre-shadowed. You know, when people primer in white, you know they're a bit more schooled in paint theory, right? Because now they have to cover every single corner and nook and cranny of that model, and they have to cover it properly because you know, if you've painted over white, you know that is not easy to cover. You know, especially
I do a little bit of both. I start off with a black, then I kind of like dry brush white, and then I start to actually paint.
You do like a zenithal. That's a zenithal highlighting.
Right. Basically. Yeah.
And you know what's funny? I just started doing that too. Actually, it
helps a lot. It literally tells you where to paint.
Makes it a lot easier too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know where your high points are.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, see, this is the thing, right? Like, you don't know. When I was coming up, there was no internet for that. There was no YouTube channel for that. That was just
railroad hobby.
It was that, or you went to a gaming store where people were actually painting. You sat down at the bar and you learned how to paint that way, right? Like, what are you doing? You know, and it was annoying, right? Like, there was people who were assholes, right? For sure. But there were also people who were like, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm painting and why I'm painting it this way. You know, and, you know, they're the same way. They were probably going through the same stuff that I went through at that moment, but they probably did it like sooner in their lives, right? So like I said, I didn't know about zenithal shading. I didn't know what the fuck. When someone told me that recently, I was like, what the hell is that? Is that like a new trick? Like, is it airbrush shit? I don't know what that is, you know? And that's where I learned it from, was watching airbrush videos. Like, oh, okay, so you can only do this with airbrush. No, I learned you could actually do it with dry brushing. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
You got an airbrush, Frankie?
No, I don't.
No, go get one.
I got a lot of people telling me to get one.
What are you waiting for?
If he does what he does.
I'm waiting for the quarantine to be over so I can get it at a reasonable price.
Yeah, you win.
If he does,
I don't even know if they're airbrush price or not.
Can you imagine what he's going to be with an airbrush?
Oh yeah.
I just started doing source lighting that I can see how it's a lot easier with an airbrush.
Yeah, that's definitely a difficult technique to master is source lighting.
You talking about like you did on a golem? That's what you talking about?
Yeah.
Source lighting is real simple, man. You pick your point of light and you paint everything based on that point of light. Even if you spin the miniature around, wherever that point of light is, it moves with the miniature. That's source lighting, you know. And you can.
I just started a boss layer for him. Well, it's not started. It's basically finished. It's right behind me somewhere, right here. But I did source lighting on those too.
Let me zoom in on you.
Hang on one sec. There you go.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's too bright.
Yeah, I see it.
You can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's on like not the next episode, but the one after that. It's like a layer for the skull guy.
Look at all that shit back there, man.
Yeah.
That's the fun zone.
Look at this Snake Mountain. What else you got back there?
Oh yeah. Snake Mountain.
This Aztec temple, man.
Yeah, actually I have the Aztec temple, since it's modular. I have it in a box. It fits perfectly on a box.
That's what's up. Got to protect that.
But that thing would take up a lot of space.
I like that one, man. I know. I like that one though. That's the one.
That one. I think that would take up a whole shelf by itself. Because there's so many other pieces that go with it, and every time I set it up, I've set it up 3 or 4 times, and every single time I've set it up, it's looked different.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's definitely.
Yeah, that's what I really like about it. Sometimes I use the stuff as a dungeon, so the walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't even use it as a temple sometimes. It's just like the walls within the temple.
Right.
Very nice.
Right, like inside. Yeah, I get you.
Very, very
I
cool.
use magnetic paints. That's what I use.
He's all fancy.
No. No, not me. Like I said, I do everything, man. I just that's good enough. That's good. It's gonna be on the table anyway. The kids are gonna screw it up. That's all they do. It's like, man, I swear I bought him my son. I got him his Orc Barbarian mini, painted it for him, gave it to him. First game, hit the floor, lost him.
Oh.
First game, dude.
Well, I mean, you gotta expect that though with kids. You know what I mean?
I expect that from my adults.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
I have all the minis from my my last campaign. I have the miniatures from the players, and some of them I painted, some of them my other buddy painted. But you could see like it just, and it's not like they were treated bad. It's just that you could see the abuse. You know what I mean? Like one of them's missing a bow, the other one's missing an axe, and it's just like, well, I don't even know where they are. I'm just like, yeah, that's their old character. You know, it just happens. It's what it is. You know, unless you can.
You use what kind of air dry clay? I mean, you use cheap air dry clay, huh? Because that's what I use.
I use 2. I use the cheap one, which is like the Crayola one, which honestly, to me, the only downside to that is not even, a lot of people say it cracks or whatever. I think you can work around that. I think its biggest issue is that it's heavy. It's really heavy. Because I think everything else you can work with, like for the Crayola air dry clay, and it's really good. I used it for part of the snake mountain.
The foamy air dry clay, huh?
I
The
like
Crayola
It's called polyform, I think. Polyform.
polymer.
Yeah, so it's something
clay,
like that.
You bake? It's the kind you bake?
No, you don't bake it.
Oh, he said polyform.
That's the name of the brand. Let me get it.
And Rivers, it's Franky D. Period Crafter. Yeah.
This is the one I like.
Keyboard.
It just feels different. It almost feels like paper mache.
Let's see.
That's by DAS, huh? That's by DAS.
I don't know if it is.
What's the work time for that? What's the working time for that?
It's good. I've had this out, not really sealed very well, and it still works well. But the second you put it out, it starts drying.
Okay.
Like it's like it dries when you want it to dry.
Nice.
It's funny. It's weird. Like I've had that open, like right where I just picked it up for I want to say like 3 weeks. It's still like really easy to work with. But that claim, I ordered some from Amazon, and I got a different clay. Like somebody repackaged another type of clay in there. So I would only get it if you go to the store and actually get it. And another thing about like my clay, a lot of people say it's expensive. But what I do is I'm always looking for coupons when it comes to. I literally only use coupons for clay.
Okay. Yeah, shop smart, bro.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes I get it for like 50%, 40% off. Like, and I get.
Dude, if you shop at Michael's, man, you could
exactly
discount. Man. There's no.
That's how I do it.
If I can get
they
anything
argue
on
with
discount,
me and tell me that you can't, but I got my airbrush and my compressor with the coupon.
But you can't get that at Michael's anymore. They won't. They don't sell it at Michael's.
It was a Hobby Lobby. It wasn't at Michael's.
Maybe they still do it, but yeah, they like I said, they stopped doing it because they started. Like I said, people were going in buying $250 compressors for half a cost. You know what I'm saying on those $50 coupons. You know, and that was a good deal. They didn't sell the greatest brushes, but they had Badgers, so they were pretty good. And again, you know, $200 brush you get for $100. That's not bad.
I don't think I've ever used a good brush in my life.
No.
What, an airbrush? Or a good,
a regular brush. All my brushes are like the crappy dollar store brushes kind of thing.
Me too.
You know, I'm guilty of it.
You use good brushes?
Yeah. Well, no. Okay.
It got mean to him, man.
In miniature painting, in the miniature painting community, some consider Games Workshop and Army Painter brushes good. I do not consider them good brushes. I consider them middle of the road brushes. What I consider good brushes are really high end Sable brushes. You know, you're spending $20, $30 on one brush. I don't buy those brushes. I do buy Games Workshop and Army Painter because I like the way their brushes work, and only because I'm so used to it. I bought a bag of brushes from Michael's. It was like $4 or something like that, and it came with like 30 brushes. And they're, you know, you can see, like, when I'm painting, if I'm painting something and a bristle flies off or a bristle gets stuck to the model, that's not a good brush. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pick and choose when and how you use them. But I have them for when I want to paint scenery or something like that, because, you know, I don't want to use my decent brushes for that. So I don't have expensive brushes. I just have decent brushes, I think. You know, but they go so fast. It's like, you know, I don't want to invest $30 in a brush and then like blow it out on one miniature. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially when you dry brush, dude, you destroy brushes when you dry brush. So
I think painting minis in general, just because of the fact that it's not a flat surface and that there's curves and everything.
Oh, yeah.
There's bristles up on. That's what, I mean, everything I use
sharp
is just
edges or whatever
Walmart, on the Walmart, Hobby Lobby, whatever is one of them. It ain't. And I pick up packs. Matter of fact, let me see. I got some right here.
Yeah, I still got to pick up an airbrush. I don't.
Yeah, I never. You know what? It kind of scares me sometimes too, because I think I'm gonna start from zero again.
Yeah. You know, it's always like it's a thing, right? It's an inherent like fear, and I say fear, you know, but it's yeah. That's a nice pack. How much is that?
That's a good pack, yeah.
$17 Hobby Lobby. I have this one, and I mean I use them on minis, but not for details. Like I use them for like covering stuff, and then I have another set that I spent a little bit more money on that I use to do, you know, to finish up the mini. But like for washing a mini or whatever, it's these guys.
Yeah.
Dry brushing a mini.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have generic brushes that I use. Like I got these brushes here. Matter of fact, I just use these on that palm tree painting. These are from the Michaels pack. You know what I'm saying? Like but I also use them for washing. I use them for, you know, spreading the base coats on certain models and stuff like that. Because, you know, why use a really good brush to do that? You know what I mean? There's no need for that. I'll pull out the fine 000 or 4O brush when I want to paint a detail on something's face or whatever. But other than that, yeah, I don't.
I don't think I've ever taken the time to actually paint the face. I kind of just do the wash. It's like, yeah, that's good enough.
The wash does, yeah. You know, there's a lot of times when I'm painting an army, like for 40K or something like that. My troops just basically get that. They get like a face wash, and that's pretty much. If I can pick out a little detail of something, fine. But I try not to go too far. It's like the special characters that I'll take the time and actually paint the teeth and go through and try to paint, you know, the shading on the eyes and stuff, because, you know, those are the guys that people are going to pick up and go, oh, let me see your special character guy. You know what I mean? They always gravitate towards those individual models to pick them up and look at them. And I've gone to events like tournaments and stuff, and you're in the middle of a game and someone will walk over and be like, oh, who painted this? And you're like, yo, I'm about to.
Interesting.
For that.
I got Rivers. Rivers said he uses cheap brushes, and
that's the way to do it.
Scott said he got a Dollar Tree makeup brush to dry brush with. Great.
Yes.
Purchase.
I gotta try that.
I just tried that for the first time.
I've had some of those and they work phenomenal.
You just can't water them down. You got to keep using them as a dry brush. Like don't wet them to change the paint every single time you need to change. Just use the new paint, because once that thing gets wet, it's like a dog's tail, dude. It's so soaked. You're not gonna dry. You have to let it air dry.
You keep it from drying. Oh.
You have to let it stay. If you're gonna use it as a dry brush, you have to let it stay dry. You cannot put it in the water to change your colors.
Oh yeah, they're extremely absorbent.
Yeah, they are so absorbent. It will literally feel like a wet rag. You know what I mean? And it will not dry.
Like I said, I got a set, and when I want to change colors, I just grab another one
or I'll just brush it until there's nothing in there, and then put the next color on. Because it's really, I mean, that's dry brushing. You should already be to the point where there's almost no paint on the brush anyway. You know, there should be almost nothing there. Yeah. So
Scott says he's got some fingernail brushes that are and fingernail brushes are great too. I got a cheap pack from.
I'd never tried that.
Yeah, fingernail brushes are nice.
Even thought about that.
They're nice because they're
fine detail.
Yeah, they're fine detail and they're hard. The bristles are hard.
They long bristle or short bristle?
They're long bristle. For the most, from what I remember.
I never heard of that. That's kind of cool.
I had a set, but they're not the greatest. The stems aren't the greatest. So the thing with paintbrushes, right, is this is the trick supposedly to keep your brushes a long time, is to not let the paint get to the ferrule. But the problem, like my problem is like as soon as you mix a paint, it's already in the ferrule. Like it's already in, you know what I mean? Like I have a hard time keeping it on the very edge of the tips, you know what I'm saying, of the brushes. So I wind up losing brushes because But
that's because you mix with your brush.
Right. I mean, you know, because you're right there. It's like in your hand, you know.
And shit. That's why oil painters mix with the knife. That's
why. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I could use
a toothpick around.
I could use a toothpick or something, but it's just like, when you look at when you're crafting or you're painting or something and you're like, okay, I got everything ready, I'm ready to go. Shit, I didn't get a toothpick, or I didn't get a Q-tip, or I didn't get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always easier with the brush.
It's always just the brush is right there. You know, and I wind up using one of the cheap brushes, like one of the throwaways. So okay, I'll mix with this brush because it's a throwaway, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Or it's a base coat brush, or it's a wash brush, it doesn't matter, you know. Because otherwise you're fumbling around looking for 1,000 different things to do one project. And you know, when you're working on a project, you're in go mode. Your mind is in like, this is getting done. somehow.
That's why I like to have everything near me.
Yeah,
because like you're like you got the ball rolling. You don't want to stop.
Right, because as soon as
take
you
a detour
to look for something or get up and walk around and go, oh, I know where it is. I'm gonna go get it. Now you're gonna go get a snack. Now you're gonna get something to drink. Now you're gonna talk to your wife. Now you're not gonna go back.
Start rolling the ball all over again from the beginning.
Yeah, you got to get that momentum going, and that's a hard thing, man. Like it's like I find it when I was in a gaming club. We had a gaming club. We get together every Sunday. We'd all sit at the table. We'd either play games or we'd work on projects, right? Either painting or building or something. If there was a person painting, I was painting my best. You know what I'm saying? Like I not because I wanted to do better than them, but it was like, yo, that creativity is helping me be more creative.
Yeah.
It's that flow of energy, right? But when you're by yourself, it's a lot harder to stay motivated to do that shit. It's like you got these ideas. Oh, I'm going to paint this. I'm going to build that. I'm going to work on this. But when you're by yourself, it's like, do I really want to do that right now? You know, so
right.
that's the key, right? So when you're working with other people and you're in a group of people, you're all sitting down being creative, that energy is so high. By the time you're
there's no way for you not to do it.
Exactly. You're there and you're cranking it out, and by the time you're done, you're like, damn, I just knocked that out. You know? So I mean,
5 years ago, I used to hang out with a whole bunch of like friends. We were all into not D&D, but art, and stuff like that. When we would get together, like a lot of stuff would get done, and I think it's the same reason, because you want to keep up.
It's that creative energy that everybody's putting out individually, but together, it's just like you can't even, you get tasted in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's go time. You know, you're in that mindset. Like it's let's get it done. Let's crank it. You know.
Right.
But like I said, it's a lot harder when you're by yourself and you're like, man, I know
it's easier to get distracted.
This, and I know I should exactly. It's like, well, but I'm gonna sit down and watch this show for a little bit, and then I'll get back to it. Or I'm gonna go and take a quick nap, or I'm gonna go and feed the cat, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that distracts you, you're distracted, and then now, boom, you've lost.
You know, it's funny sometimes, because what I end up doing while I'm crafting, and this is a reason why you don't actually like hear a lot of the actual work when I'm crafting on the videos, like the sound of something cutting. It's because I usually have another creator on the side that I'm listening to while I'm working. Because I feel like I won't get distracted if somebody else is working on whatever the same kind of like subject I'm working on.
Yeah.
I can't, if I'm watching a movie or something and I'm crafting, I'm gonna be trying to pay attention to the movie. Yeah. So instead I put on somebody that's where like I might not always comment on the Discords and stuff like that, but I'm always clicking on the links. Right. I'm always watching the videos. Okay. And that's how I came across the Discord. I think Rivers put out a video, clicked on it, watched it, he mentioned it. I was like, I don't think I'm part of this. Clicked it, came here, and then here we are.
Well, Rivers, shout out, brother. Good job.
Yeah, Rivers.
You see, a lot of people have been clicking on his videos and come into the Discord too. I'm like, damn, what are we doing wrong if Rivers is getting
I don't know how I came
traffic.
I don't even remember how I came across this video, actually, now that I think about it. It just popped up. I clicked it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think I don't remember. I know I was actually doing a video, and one of the guys that started the Discord commented on my video, and it was actually I had my workbench behind me, and he had commented. He's like, "Oh, it's a great video," because I was doing something on some miniatures for D&D, and he's like, "Is that a RC? You know, a Tamiya RC in the background?" And he literally nailed it, because he knew exactly which one it was, because he has the same car or the same chassis. And I was like, "Yeah, it is totally." You know, and we started talking, and he invited me to the Discord, and that's where I met Hate and everybody, and we grew from there. But it's so interesting how people come across it. You know what I'm saying? Like and like once I started, I was like, well, if you want to grow, right, we got to put our words out there. We got to put the name out there. So, you know, I have an Instagram page and Facebook. And so every time I post something that has something to do with my hobbies, which is the only reason I have Instagram, right? I keep it just to do my hobby stuff. And I always hashtag the Tabletop Dungeoneers. You know, people are,
I should start doing that.
It's not familiar. People don't know it. I'm like, yeah, but that's how it becomes familiar. If
people start seeing it
every single time, they're gonna see it now. Because before, like, you could type in Tabletop Dungeoneers, you wouldn't get anything. You know what I mean? You wouldn't get anything. Now we're one of the first channels that come up on YouTube. Well, because of the channel name, but also because Hate and I, every video we're putting in, hashtag Tabletop Dungeoneers. You got to promote yourself, right? Because you're the only way you're going to succeed in that.
I'm pretty bad at that.
I say it every single show. It's like you have to protect your brand. If you do not protect your brand, no one else is going to do it for you. If I don't say, hey, check me out on the Tabletop Dungeoneers on my videos, no one's going to know that it exists. If Rivers didn't say it, no one would know it existed.
Right.
And we would get no traffic. We would get no momentum. We would get no growth, and that's the thing, right? And it's like I said before, to me, it's a community that should succeed if everybody works to make it succeed. Right.
Yeah, no, I agree. To me, it's hard to say this in the way I say it, and I hope I say it right. I feel like I owe a lot of my success to, let's say, like Bard's Craft.
Bard's Craft, yeah.
Bard's Craft, I talked to him from like the second I started my channel, right? Mm-hmm. And we've been talking kind of off and off, and he's one of the people online that I would consider my friend. Like,
that's cool,
man. And yeah, and he's always talking to me. He's always kind of guiding me in the right direction. And honestly, I feel like I owe him a lot.
That's pretty cool.
I'm always in the back of my head. I'm always thinking like I'm gonna have to repay him somehow, somewhere.
Right. No, I mean, and like I said, if you take the time, like if you take 5 seconds out of your video to say, hey, do me a favor, check out Bard's Craft. This is where I got started, or this is what inspired me. Check him out. He's got some great videos. Yes, you may be on the scale. You may be here and he may be up here, but that still helps. That's how it works, right? Like that's how we get familiar with shit. Like I liked what you did. Oh, well, let me check out what inspired him. Since he says go to this site, let me check it out. Let me see what that's all about. And I mean that's how it grows. That's how that's how those guys started. They got the same. They went through the same process of growing their channels the same way we're doing. They didn't have.
And you can see how passionate they are.
Oh yeah,
the way they work.
For sure. And I mean, like DM Scotty, and there's a guild that they're all part of now. That Jeremy.
The Tabletop Guild.
Yeah, the Tabletop Guild that Jeremy was a part of, and Wylock's Crafting, and I don't know if Bard's Craft is in there, but I think he is. I think they're all part of that group. But they started the same way, individually, working on their craft with their channels because they had, they wanted to share whatever knowledge they had, whatever reason they started the YouTube. Maybe they thought, okay, I'll get rich doing this shit. I don't know, but for whatever reason, they started all individually. But now because they're working together, their promotion rate is like through the roof, right? Like they're gonna get out there. You're gonna know if you're into crafting or you're into building stuff. You're gonna know DM Scotty. You're gonna know Magic Craft. Whether you like those guys or not, you're gonna know about their channel,
right?
Because they're out there. They're putting out consistent content, and it's not the greatest stuff. I mean, there's things I would say Jeremy's done. I'm like, you know what? I don't like the way he did that. I would do that completely different because my experiences have been completely different. That's not saying that his stuff is bad. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it that way. Same thing with DM Scotty. But like I said before, the perspective that they're using is why I watch the videos. Right? It's not the end result. I don't give a shit about it. You want to? I can paint pillars. I know how to make pillars. Everybody who's crafted has probably made a pillar, right? But it's his method to get to the end result that I want to find out about. Right. What is he doing different that I'm doing? Are we doing the same thing? Am I on the right path? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there something this guy can teach me that I haven't thought about yet? Right? Because if you can't learn, then you're never going to grow. Right? So.
Yeah. It's when you play video games, you're looking at the finished product and you're getting inspiration from the finished product. That's all you could analyze it. But when you go watch somebody like Black Magic Craft, you're not there all 100% for the final product. You want to figure out the process that was taken to get there, and see if your process is any different or how you can improve or whatever. There's always like, for me, like watching these channels, I'm always thinking of myself as I'm watching it as a student.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm trying to figure out like how to get better. Always.
Right. Exactly. Did we lose Hate? Damn it. Where'd you go? All right, Rivers. We'll see you soon, brother. Thanks for stopping by. He's got to go. Wait a minute. He crafted. I'm bringing it back up. Hey,
what happened to him?
I don't know what happened. Oh, he crashed. He's bringing up his system now. Okay.
Oh.
It's because he got them old computers, man. He's got that old wireless system. He's got the Flintstone computer, bro. I keep telling you, hey, you gotta let me host. We won't drop a signal, bro. You say you're in Connecticut?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Are you in the city or are you like more rural?
I just recently moved to Bridgeport. Bridgeport's a city, but I'm kind of like at the edge. So it's
so you got good internet access, you got good connection, good speed and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
Okay.
I'm lucky about that stuff.
Yeah, the guys on the Discord, a lot of them don't have high internet. Like a lot of them are in rural areas, like Quinn's out in the boonies. So it's like him uploading is really difficult. There he is.
I told you couldn't host.
It gets difficult sometimes here too.
What'd you say?
I said I never told you couldn't host.
Oh, maybe we'll try it next week and see what happens.
Go for it. I don't know what the hell happened there. That bitch just said it gave me a sad face. You know, the Windows sad face. That bitch gave me the sad face, and it just.
He's like, I gotta go. Bye.
Yeah, my computer was like, sorry.
I can just imagine him like talking to somebody, like trying to get that fixed. It's like, yeah, man, this bitch just gave me a sad face. How do I fix that?
She gave me
I can tell y'all would talk about Rivers though, about that. Rivers got you here and all that. And you know what it is with Rivers? Rivers is just fucking nice, dude. The River talks to everybody, dude. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is. Rivers.
Sometimes it's true because sometimes I want to comment on people's videos, like especially like Jeremy and DM Scotty. I want to comment. I want to say stuff, but it's like, who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? Like I get
you
that.
know what? Honestly, you know what my favorite comments are?
No.
My favorite comments are, I have nothing to say, but I heard comments help the algorithm. They just put that.
It's true. It's definitely. And I was saying this in a couple of videos prior. When you comment, it changes the algorithm for the search pattern. So YouTube will favor those videos that get a lot of comments. And that's why, you know, with the guys, we try to comment on each other's videos a lot because it helps.
It promotes engagement.
Yeah, exactly.
And YouTube likes that.
Yeah, So what else?
Yeah, but a lot of YouTube, man, is honestly is being friends. It's like it's building a community. A lot of YouTube is. If you look at everybody, I mean, even Frankie sitting here telling us it's the same thing for him.
Yeah,
it was that he became friends with Bard, in et cetera, and Crafts and Mini, et cetera, et cetera. That's all it is.
Honestly, yeah, those people kind of exposed me to a new audience.
Yeah, you hang out. Yeah, you just hang out with people. Yeah.
And you know, I think
that's why you always gotta be nice.
I mean, engaging too helps. I think that like you gotta be willing to engage your audience. If someone comments on your video, I mean, even if they say, "Hey, dude, nice video," acknowledge it.
I'm good with I try to answer to all my
definitely
comments.
It's definitely worthwhile, and you know, when you're doing live streams like this, we've been doing this for a while, and we're not the best at it yet. We still got stuff to work on. But commenting, you know, engaging these comments is the point of doing a live show. There's no point to do a live show if you're not going to engage the people that are taking their time out of their day, the 2 hours, the hour, whatever, to say, hey, I'm here, I'm watching, good job. You know, you got to acknowledge these people because that's the point of it all, right? Like we're engaging, you know, so that, you know, I mean, we're all sitting talking, we're bullshitting, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, what I would love is eventually to get to the point where these people are asking questions and we can actually respond and give them our advice or our opinions or, you know, negative or positive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, I think that's just, I've always wanted to do, ever since I started my channel, I was always wanting to do a live show where I paint or I build and people are chatting and whatever. I just haven't gotten around to doing something formulated like, you know, okay, what is it that I actually want to do? How long, what time, you know, all that stuff. I'm bullshitting around is actually what it is. So
right.
I just got to get off my ass and do it.
The one thing I thought I would never do was actually do like a live stream and stuff like that.
Because it's just,
yeah, I know. At first, when you guys invited me, I was like, I'm probably just gonna sit in the background, just like, you know.
Who that? Oh,
It was pretty cool.
Eso, coño.
Qué feo.
Man, you look like two different people in these pictures, bro.
Yeah, well,
Dude,
one's
I was about to say
iPhone high def, the other one isn't.
Somebody's volume is up. That's your volume hate. You just fucked up the stream.
No, your face.
I mean, yeah, you know, I feel like going live is a good way to engage your audience, right? Like it's a really good, I mean, you could put out videos till the sun comes down, but if you really engage people, the live stream is the way to do it. Like that's my thought. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I mean, I'm still new to this shit, so.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either. To me, it's weird, like going live kind of thing, because like I like to have a plan. And since I don't like you guys don't get it from the videos, but like when I say like I'm shy, like I really mean I'm like shy. I'll probably not say anything for a while. This was kind of like we kicked it off right from the beginning, so it was kind of like smooth. It was like
we got you, bro. We got you.
No, it was normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I feel like if I go live by myself, I'm gonna be trying to force
right. I see what you're saying.
To be interesting or whatever, you know?
Oh my god, are you doing a seance, bro? What the fuck is going on in your video?
Why you hating on me? You know what it is? Okay, I'm worried something's gonna happen again, so I want to have my phone.
Oh, just in case.
Okay. Back up.
Yeah.
So I killed this camera over here because I don't know what happened there.
Well, Frankie, if at all possible, I am definitely working on doing a live stream. I'm not sure what day, probably maybe towards the weekend, like Friday or Thursday or something, where I'm going to be crafting or building or painting and chatting. So if that's something you think you might want to try, you know, we could definitely do that. You know, I'd love to have you on, and, you know, just like I said, you can actually, so you're not just sitting there talking, you're actually crafting, you're doing, because I feel like if you're doing your thing, it'll be more natural for you
to just talk about it.
To talk about it and have that conversation. Yeah.
You know what the thing is about that, though, that I noticed from like when we were doing that, there's a lot of.
No, that's just Quinn.
There's a lot of crumbling,
that's just Quinian over there.
If you file stuff.
Fuck it. Yeah, he's ASMR shit. I was like, the other day we were talking about it, and I'm like, what the hell's going on over there, Quinn? What the fuck are you doing?
Construction.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's just all mic controls, where you sit in your mic and all that shit. So I mean, like I said, I mean, it was just a thought, you know, for me. But it's something I've always wanted to do, especially with my hobby. Like I've been doing this shit for a long time, and I got a lot of resource information, but I don't want to do a lot of videos on, like, I haven't done a lot of crafting videos. I haven't, because there's a lot of guys in our group that do it, and I don't really want to
do it.
I don't even think I had the experience to do it, and I just went for it.
No, Zero says he doesn't want to show us up. I keep telling him, do it. Fuck.
Bro, yeah, show us up.
Do it. Show me up.
Put your channels to rest.
Yeah, give us some ideas we can steal.
Man, I don't have any feelings, bro. I heard them.
That's the best way, bro. I steal ideas all the time. I'm not even gonna lie. That shit didn't come naturally. I know how to make a pillar now. No. I had to steal.
You're always looking at something else.
Yeah.
It's always something.
That shit out.
Before I first learned how to make pillars, no shit, hand to God. I went to Michael's. I was walking through one of the aisles in the wedding aisle, and I found those little wedding stackers.
Yeah.
And I just bought a bag of them, and I painted them, and boom, pillars. I was like, done.
Miller says you should do it, Zero. I keep telling him. I don't know. He keeps. I don't know. Like, I think he's false. You know what false means? Yeah, full of shit. I think he's false. Maybe
he's calling you out, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I was the only one that did that dice box challenge. You know, the dice tower challenge.
¿Y qué?
Yo lo hice.
¿Y qué?
No, nobody else did.
You weren't the only one. Thaco made one out of wood. It's fake news. Miller says it's fake news.
Oh, Miller, you calling me out? Calling me out. Okay.
Fake news.
I see you, bro. I see you. I do want to do some, though. I actually do. I want to do some real basic stuff. There was
challenges, Frankie. You down with challenges?
Like what kind of challenges?
Crafting challenges.
We'll do them in the server. Well, it don't have to be.
Yeah, finger painting challenge, bro.
Do it. Let's do it.
I'm not.
Do it.
Oh, God.
Just.
You're serious. That's the thing. You're serious.
I'm
Have you? When was the last time you finger painted? Hey,
me?
No. Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Me? I don't think I ever did, honestly.
Oh, well, you don't know what you're missing, bro.
I don't think I ever did. I mean, I can't.
I've never
I
finger
guess
painted
maybe
in
when
my
I was a
life.
kid. I guess. I don't
Never?
remember.
You guys have never
Never.
finger painted.
Bro.
What the?
What part of grew up in a farm you not understand?
But I saw those other.
So
kids
you
with
never
finger
took
paints,
your
and I was like,
hand.
that's fucking ugly.
You never drew in the dirt. You never did any.
That's
The only
finger
color
painting.
we had was poop.
It's awesome. You guys got to do it at least once. Do it once in your life. It's fun. Do it with your kids. It's the best. You know,
My kids
because you can
want
make a
brushes,
mess
man.
and it's okay. You know.
My kids want brushes.
It's good
My
time.
nieces and nephews are too aggressive. They're just gonna fight me with the paint.
You know, sometimes it happens.
I mean, even my granddaughter. I mean, I don't. I give her brushes. I mean, I guess that's. I don't know. I've always wanted brushes. I don't remember.
Finger
ever.
painting is just very tactile. I think it's one of those things as a kid they show you in grammar school. So it's like, okay, this is, so your fingers, you can get senses with your hands and know what stuff feels like, how it moves around. It's like working with clay. Like when you're working with clay.
When I pencil sketch, I do that. I smear my pencil with my pencil sketches and all that. But
I like the painting I just did, the palm trees. When I was painting it, they say, okay, just use a zigzag pattern with the paintbrush. And I was like, eh. So I started sliding the paint around with my fingers too, because it was like, I'm going to get a better effect if I do it this way, But, that's
so we can
like
finger paint anything? Frankie?
What?
We can finger paint anything?
Oh, I thought we were gonna paint terrain.
Well, why's got to be terrain on?
All right. It could be anything, and we'll post it up on the Discord.
He's gonna paint a picture of his Pac-Man. Look, I did
I'm gonna make a
Pac-Man.
stick man, bro. With an axe.
Don't judge me.
Let me move my mic.
Yeah, I don't know if you've Frankie, if you've gotten a chance to check out Miller's channel. But he's got some really cool projects. He's done some really cool terrain projects. Some really cool painting and stuff. He's very humble. Like a lot of the guys are like, oh, I'm not that good. He's full of shit. He's really good. He's got some talent.
What I think is because like we notice our mistakes when like
We do.
a lot of people don't look at that stuff.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
I think a lot of it is too is you see how someone else did something and you're just like, fuck, I should have done it that way.
You know what?
You're thinking that's better
I've
than
never
yours.
done that to myself. Like
No?
I've never said this person did so much better than me. I always think about it like I could do as better as that person or much better. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I'm not saying like,
but that's
like
what I'm
in a
saying.
cocky
I should've
sense.
done it.
No, I know
Like,
exactly what you're
I
saying.
can work my way up to that point.
That's a confidence level, and I get it. I
I'm-
totally get
I might not be there right now, but I'll be there in a while.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, it's like that 40K picture you put up, Zero, with the guy with the bald head. Like me, I'll pick up. Yeah, you don't remember the 40K figure? You just put that up, man. it was yesterday or something when Miller was painting. What was that? It was Sunday. Or
Oh, the
something.
chaos miniature. Yeah. That was for Miller.
Yeah. So then you look at his bald head and you're like, well, you see me, if I'm going to paint a bald head, I might sit there and say, well, I'll paint it like mine. But this dude, he did the veins and everything.
Right. And that's one of those things. It's one of those things like I could paint that.
Well, it's one of those things I should have done it that way.
Right. Like I was like, fuck, I could do that, but I got to learn how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was it was the one part of the miniature that I was like, okay, I could do everything else, but I don't know how to do that. And I'm going to
post that.
I'm going to learn how to do that because it's a cool effect. And then you're talking about a little tiny pea-sized head.
I'm getting a headache thinking about it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a pea-sized head. This dude did the veins and everything. And I know I've seen people do it. It's the same technique that they use to do hair. Like when someone shaves their head, that look, it's the same technique.
Yes.
But it's applied with just a thin paintbrush, like veiny stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know of it. I just never did it. So I have to learn how to do it so I can say, okay, I got that under my belt. I have that skill set under my belt.
And I never go into a project thinking I'm gonna succeed the first time.
Right.
I always like keep my expectations to I'm gonna do good enough when I make this.
Yeah,
I feel
Miller's saying that it's like hypercritical, and he's absolute. That is 100% correct. We as artists are our worst fucking enemies and our worst critics. We criticize ourselves.
Mine's is my wife.
Well, then you're lucky. I would say, like, if I show and this is the true hand of God. Look, I draw a picture and I show it to my buddies. Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's tight. And I'm looking at it like, this is a piece of shit. What are you guys looking at? I show them a miniature, same thing. If they don't have the talent to do it, they're all like, oh, it's great. You're an artist. You're fantastic. I'm like, no. So now
I did a full-scale Darth Vader, and then while I was painting it, my wife was like, but he's black. And I'm like, Jess, if I do Darth Vader in solid black, it's just going to be a silhouette.
Right.
It's not solid. Vader isn't solid black. He's white, he's gray, he's black.
There's some cool tones in there.
Yeah. There's blue in there. His saber's lit up, so there's red in there.
Red.
Yeah. And then, but once the whole painting came together, and then she was like, "Oh," but yeah. But like I said, when she saw me starting to slap on white and gray, and she's like, "Vader's black. What are you doing?"
Right. Well, because in her mind, that's the basic what she sees.
But nothing is one color, dude. I don't care what
ever.
it is.
No, yeah, absolutely. No, everything has as light and volume and depth, and you have to work those
light,
things.
shade,
Especially
everything.
when you're painting miniatures and terrain, you have to create light. You have to create shadow. You have to create gradient. You can't, because the miniature is not going to do that on its own. You know what I'm saying? Like you if anybody who knows painting miniatures, you paint all the base colors, it's going to look really flat.
Frankie, we got a thingiverse, like a Discord server. We got a couple files on there.
On Thingiverse?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh snap!
We've got a 3D model of the beholder. That one you see on the screen right there.
Oh snap!
But we have a 3D model of them, like a mini.
Damn, I'm gonna have to get my 3D printer from my old place.
There you go.
And that's I just showing that because I just saw it. But that was Quinn did this. He modeled.
I saw that from Quinn. Yeah, no, I
didn't see you painting it though.
It's nice,
dude. I love the beholder you guys got for the icon. Yeah, I have this old webcam thing, whatever, and I was like, oh, I could definitely craft this into basically your icon.
It looks like an old webcam. It does look like the old circular the beholder shape. Yeah, it's like an old webcam or a TIE fighter.
Let me get it real quick.
Where'd you put that 40K mini? I mean, I guess it's kind of late now. The subject can change.
It's in 40K. It should be in 40K.
You sure? Because like it was when Miller was streaming. It might be.
It should be in 40K.
You're pretty. Yeah, you're kind of OCD.
Is this thing?
Yeah, I'm a little OCD. Yeah, see, that looks perfect. That's a perfect size for it.
Right? You just turn this into a beholder.
Hold
Yep.
on, let me
see. See? That's the old school webcams.
Yeah.
I ain't using this for anything else.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I mean, I bought a bunch of little foam balls, but I mean, I just never because I bought the No Zors beholder. So
I'm the same. I have a whole bunch of foam I bought for no reason. It's still sitting there.
Yeah, I got a whole bag sitting up there of just foam balls.
That's the shelf of shame, bro. It's
Dude,
that stuff you think when you buy it, you're like, this could be this, but then 6 months later, you're like, why do I have all this shit here?
I'm starting to look at that stuff and being like, even if it looks crappy, I gotta make it. I gotta use up this stuff. It can't just be taking up space here.
Oh yeah.
So we got like 8 minutes left. Zero, you want to do the news real quick?
Go for it, man. I don't. Who?
You said you were gonna do it. It's a good thing I wrote.
That's why I didn't do it, because you wrote it.
It's a good thing I wrote. Now you're gonna.
I was gonna do that. Listen, real quick, let's just make it a thing. If you want me to do the news, then I'll do that, so I can prepare the day before. You know what I'm saying? So I'll write it shit down. Like last time, you kept cutting me off because I did all the news.
No, I was commenting. It's not cutting you off.
You cutting me off.
That's not cutting you off.
Lo mismo. Es lo mismo.
So here's something new right there. Quinn just did this, right?
Yep.
So that's new. Quinn just did that. The file, I guess I can upload it today. I'll go ahead and upload it to Thingiverse in case I need to get me a 3D printer. But let's see. We're starting from the Die 20. Oh, the Greek themed Magic the Gathering set, which is, I don't know. I'm a Magic the Gathering fan, so like.
Dude, I used to. My friends wouldn't want to play with me. I was so good.
Really?
Yeah.
You see, but that's my thing with Magic the Gathering, though, is that it turns into it turns into a thing where you just building to beat your friend, and your
Dude.
friends are building to beat you.
Dude, they would call me, I'm not even joking, they would call me Batman, because no matter what situation I was in, I would always find a way out of it and win.
But that's the thing I didn't like about it is always like, I know I had a friend that built a white weenie deck, right? And then I was using the green white deck, and he built this little white weenie deck, and he came out, and like I used to smash him, and he came at me with that white weenie deck, and he won, and I was like, shit. So I went and I made a black weenie deck, and and then I started smashing him. But that's what I noticed is just Magic the Gathering turns into that.
For me, I make my decks like broad enough. They're not meant to. They're just meant to win. I don't make them to win against a certain. And I know they're not always.
I had that in consideration as well. That I want to beat everybody, but yeah, I had to have answers to his deck. I had to have answers to his deck. Right. If not, I would lose. And then so I'd put in my answers, right, and then I would build.
You gotta have a sideboard instead.
Oh yeah,
it's like 5 cards you switch in and out, and that's it.
I mean, I used to play back in Kamigawa with like ink eyes and all. Yeah, I loved Kamigawa, man. That was my favorite set.
I'm actually thinking about selling my collection.
What's his name? Do it. Cujo's got like 1,000 cards.
Yeah, don't do it. Hold on to it just for a little bit longer, because you're gonna get rid of it, and you're gonna be like, "Fuck, what did I do?" Unless you're planning on funding a new project, then go for it.
I'm shifting it all to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, there you go.
So, Blue Dragon found a booster set, and he unboxed it, and he also did a critical fail and critical success deck. Did y'all know about that? I was thinking we could talk about critical fails and successes, but
we could do that next week too, for sure.
Yeah, we could do it because
we're gonna have him on next week, right? Isn't he coming on next week?
I'll make Frankie come on.
No. I'm saying. I'm saying Blue Dragon. We're having him on next week.
We get Blue Dragon on. Hell yeah! He said he was gonna take off. Huh?
Yeah, he said he's going to be off. So I think, next weekend or next week, Tuesday is Blue Dragon Day.
So Blue Streak Customs did DIY Spinneroonie.
He did, and he's also making a book nook.
Yeah, that's what he's currently making right now, a book nook, which is like a diorama that fits in your bookshelf.
Yeah. I've seen a bunch of these, dude. I've been wanting to make one because I saw a Harry Potter one. It was like $150 on Ali, and I was like, "There's no way I'm paying $150 for the fucking cardboard." No, so I started looking it up, and I'm like, "Okay, these are easy to do." So Blue's cutting the ice on that one. That's pretty cool. What else do we got? Who else just put another? Didn't Game On just put out the last of his Strahd video, or one of the newest Strahd video?
Yeah, he's coming up. I forget which part he's on. He's on like part 8 or something like that.
No. I think it's like 5. I think it's 5.
No, I think it's further than that.
No.
So wait, Quinn models these?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he actually constructs them.
No way. Shit, I'm about to send him a whole bunch of drawings.
Stu just did an unboxing for Warcry. He did a miniature unboxing for Warcry. It's pretty cool. A very interesting miniature.
He streamed too.
Yeah, he did. And Rivers did a live stream a couple days ago. Rivers, if you're checking, if you're watching, when you do a live stream, bro, hit us up, man, beforehand, so we know we can jump on with you, or we can help you. We can get in the comments, whatever, any way we can help boost the views on that. Let us know, bro. We'll do what we can. That's why we're here, brother.
Yeah, I think I was playing like Minecraft Dungeons with the kids or something when he came on. I didn't even know. Dude,
I was in the middle of family time. Who else do we have that dropped videos?
Dwarven Forge. I'm at the Dwarven Forge. Oh yeah, the Nolzor's Hydra.
Yes, Cujo did a video on the Hydra, which is a really cool Hydra. Definitely a Pathfinder miniature. You know what I mean? But
that's what it was.
It's very cool because if you're creative enough as a GM, you can definitely add it to your game. So it's not like it's not like it's so restricted that you can't. You just got to be creative with your rule set. What else do we?
Threw a $30 Iron Man action figure away.
Again, coño, con esa mierda. Siempre. It's gone, bro. Déjalo. Fucking garbage. Let it go.
He threw it.
We're gonna be sitting outside his house on garbage day.
Dude, he bought an action figure and just unboxing it, it fell apart and he threw it away.
Oh my God, I was so pissed off. I didn't even want to fix it. That's how bad it was. I was like, and in my mind, I was like, no, I can fix it. I'll fix it. It's gonna be cool. As I got through the video, I was like, fuck this figure. Like, I'm done with it.
Quinn modeled the new pod holder, and then the vote on a server for the next 3D model is the initiative trackers.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm pretty sure Quinn's doing that now.
He's doing the initiative trackers? Okay.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we'll vote on other stuff, so just because the other stuff didn't win doesn't mean that it'll never happen. Sure. Yeah.
Did Cujo drop another video on the Dwarven Forge this time around? No, right? Not this week?
No, because he hasn't gotten his Hellscape yet, and I don't even want to talk to Cujo until he gets it.
But he's supposed to be doing videos on the current sets that he has, so he can help people whether or not they're going to buy this shit.
The last video I saw from Cujo was the Hydra. I think he was talking shit about he filmed something. I think
he did say he was filming something and editing, so pay attention for that. Who do we have new? We have new people on the thread besides Frankie, right? Like Frankie's on. Scotty just joined. Thank you, Scotty, for joining.
Frankie's been there for a while, but Frankie just he doesn't want to talk to us.
Yeah,
I'm quiet. No. I'm quiet as hell. But you see me clicking on the links.
I'm shy. Mira
Pero why? We could get on there. We get on there and make fun of people, man.
Yeah. We could talk in Spanish and nobody know what the fuck we're talking about, bro. It's perfect.
Yo, dude, honestly, I was so happy to find out you guys spoke Spanish.
I'm just kidding.
No, in general. I was like...
I don't speak Spanish.
All right, bro.
I speak, God,
Spanglish?
I don't even know what they call it.
Spanglish?
Broken Spanish, yeah.
It's all right, man. Look, as long as you can get by, it's okay. I get what you're saying.
Es muy malo. Es malo. I sound like that guy. You remember that guy with the James Means commercial? Y'all ever heard of him?
Who?
Huh? On Telemundo and all that, on the radio. You know what I'm talking about, Frankie? James
Means.
Yeah. Llama a James Means. 555.
5.1.
I thought it was 777.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you know the number?
77. No, because literally it's the guy just like, llama 77, and then they just keep saying 7 forever. It's like, that's not even a number anymore.
So check it out real quick.
Like some dude from high school, like they hired him. He just learned English. I mean, he just learned Spanish in high school, and he's like, "Yeah,
this is a real quick teaser. I did a video. I'm going to be putting it up soon. This kit, I'm going to turn it into Diablo from Final Fantasy.
Oh wow!
Blizzard.
Yep.
Diablo from Blizzard.
Huh?
Diablo from Blizzard.
No, not Diablo from Blizzard. Diablo from Final Fantasy VII, bro.
From Blizzard.
Sabes que?
I don't know who you're talking about though. Diablo from Final Fantasy.
He's one of the stands. Like when they summon up a powerful being, he's one of those powerful beings. You'll see in the video. You just wait. Just wait.
What are you talking about? Okay. That's like 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be like 7 Mondays from now.
Right.
Well, listen, you got to keep to a schedule. Otherwise, if I throw like 2 videos out, y'all will be like, I'm not going to watch it. You guys barely watch my videos now. So
Zero molesta.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Zero, here he is again with his other videos. And I just dropped that Tamiya video, my new RC car that I'm still waiting for the body for. But I'll get it.
The new guy, we talk D&D. Apparently, he's in the 501st, and he's got a Sidious.
Yes,
I see him pop up a lot, actually.
Yes, Emperor Palpatine, Palpatine.
That's Lord Sidious, dude. What you talking about?
Whatever. You know what I'm saying.
There's another one.
But yeah, he just started. He's got his 2nd video. He's working on his 3rd now, and it's what we talk D&D, right? We talk D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys are watching, check him out. He's pretty cool. He's got the quality. I gotta say, for him just getting started, the quality of his videos are pretty damn good.
I was just about to say that too, actually.
Yeah,
like with the green screen and everything behind it.
Yes. I've been.
Oh, you know what I saw the other day? I saw a video of some guy went to Walgreens and bought the lime green foam board, and he nailed them to his wall to use. Because the green screen, the big thing is the wrinkles, and that completely eliminates the wrinkles.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So yeah.
I might try that. Let me try putting it right here.
We got the real Josh T. And these were from Cujo. The Cujo's viewers.
Real Josh T. Yeah. Welcome aboard.
I have a cosplay.
We all know, bro.
Zero has a Jedi. We're after 12, though, by the way.
I know. But that's okay. Frankie, is there anything you got coming up you want to plug real quick?
I got 2 videos coming up. One of them probably just got released. I think I put it to start at like 1 p.m. today, so on my time.
Okay.
So that's like a simple like craft video because I wanted to like kind of give myself some time to catch up with bigger projects.
Mm-hmm.
So the one after this one that's gonna come up is actually this thing right behind me. So I'm afraid to move it because it's not everything's glued together.
Okay. Yeah, don't teaser, but don't. Yeah.
There you go.
Look at that.
No, break it.
Go to his picture. Hey, go to his picture.
No, I'm not. No.
Please.
Espérate.
There you go.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's some of it. There's a lot of detail here I'll be hiding.
Wow.
But it's basically this guy's boss room.
Coño.
You can't say coño, zero.
¿Sabes qué?
You know.
No mamas, güey. Yeah, no mamas, güey.
Yo, there's a lot of bad words for you guys that aren't bad words for us. Found out that hard
let me
way.
tell you this. Culo. What about that one? That's a bad word for y'all. Huh?
That's a bad word for you. That's not a bad word.
Nah, that's average.
That's average, bro.
Yeah.
Huh? Is
I
that
said
average?
culo. That's the average
culo,
word.
Culo
For us, I'm not even gonna
it's like,
say
it's
it.
actually a cute word.
Yeah. Well, it depends on who you're talking about.
You see, but there's some people that think culo is a curse word.
Oh yeah, okay. I got
Let
you.
him.
Culo is a curse word. It's like asshole, really, actually.
There's a word actually in Spanish for us, like Mexicans, that it's like friend, but for Puerto Ricans, it does mean asshole.
Which was that?
Huh?
What word is that?
No, I don't want to say it, bro.
Wow. Okay. It's not way. It's not S.
No, it's not way. Way. You know what? Funny enough, way for like the newer generation's not a bad thing. But if you try to say that to my dad, he'll probably kick your ass.
Yeah.
But way, no, it's not. Way was the owner, right?
Way?
Yeah.
Way?
Originally, no, it's Jefe.
No, it's way. It's
Jefe.
like it's like a type of, it's like a dumb donkey,
Right.
but it's also another word for something bad.
Right.
But then eventually people are just started saying it like
Kurds.
almost like our version of bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what's up,
we
bro?
say I said it.
Instead of like, oh, ¿qué pasó, güey?
Yeah.
We say I said it. That's cooler. I said it.
We say
Chico.
chamaco.
Yeah, we say chamaco too. I say that. I call my kids chamacos.
No, we do that too, chamaco.
I think that's a Mexican word. Isn't
That
it?
probably is.
I
It
don't know
sounds
when
like
they
it.
came in, but Scott said, "What do you love, Ravnica?" It was my favorite. I played a little bit of Ravnica.
Yo, Ravnica was
liked it, too.
sick. I think Ravnica was one of my first favorites because I think I got into Magic around that time.
Ravnica was like really artifact heavy, and I liked Ravnica, but I say Kamigawa was still my favorite.
Yeah.
You talking about Magic?
And yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You almost got him with that new video, Frankie. You almost clicked away." He ran off to go see
I see. Yeah, right. It came in at 1. My phone's gonna die, so if I go black, you guys know why.
Well, listen, hey Frankie, before you go, man, I want to tell you thank you so much for coming on the show with us, bro. I really appreciate you coming on, man, and sharing
it's
your.
on this side. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
We'll definitely like to have you on again if that's possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Get you out that shell, bro. Get you out that shell. We got you. We got you, bro. Trust me.
It's good. It's good.
Hey, you got anything you got to plug?
I'm gonna upload my Zelda Shield.
Oh, finally! Jesus Christ.
When's that coming out?
Next week.
I mean, I've got it written, and I recorded the audio, and I'm in the middle because I don't have any video of building it, but what I have is like still shots. So I'm in the middle of putting the still shots in. So yeah, just a lot of. I mean, I don't know. Zero told me to put it up, so whatever.
Listen, if you're crafting, it should be a video. You know what I'm saying? It might as well. You know.
Yeah.
Every kit that I open up is 2 videos to me. You know what I'm saying? Like every Gundam is 2 videos. Every miniature is 2 videos. There's an unboxing and then there's a review, right? Like, so that's just me. It
makes sense.
You know what I mean? Why not? I mean, why should I struggle looking for content when it's all right there? It's just sitting there. You know what I mean? You got it.
Yeah, but you know,
you got it, bro. Dude, you got the skills to pay the bills, bro. Trust me. You know, don't even be.
No, it came out fail. It's fail.
Nah.
It's we fail. But I turned it into a clock, and so yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Put it up in the boys' room. It's finally in their room when they're home.
Got to make.
I made that thing in, I think it was February or March. It was back then.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Should have done one on the D&D stands too, but.
What D&D stands? What are you talking
about? The ones you used for Mardi Gras, bro.
I've got all that. I even have some
Do
video
it.
of that. I
Do
have
it.
Okay.
Bro, diversify, because you're gonna show people that you've got more than just scenery talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know that. You know what I'm
I didn't
saying?
draw none of that.
It doesn't matter, bro. Come on. Stop being humble.
It. Okay.
Stop being humble.
Okay. Anything else, Frankie?
You know damn well.
That's it from my end.
That's it
All
for
right.
Frankie's end.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on, bro. I appreciate it. Hey,
Yeah, no worries.
thank you for coming on, Hate. I appreciate
Thank you for having me.
I can't believe I crashed, man. That was crazy. I'll tell you, my screen just went blue and it was like sat face.
You're gonna do it again.
You put up the literal, the colon parenthesis, and you put it up there, sat face.
So I just got the same. I got more scheduled videos coming out every Monday. Obviously, I got another. I'm gonna drop a video this Thursday on my D&D minis that I just picked up. So that's all I got coming up.
I've got a bunch I want to open up too that I haven't opened up, but
do it.
Nah, I might. I don't know.
Do it, man. It's fun.
Actually, my best videos are the ones about the white dragon, that a Pathfinder white dragon, the Pathfinder. I mean,
I gotta do that too, man. I gotta start doing some
goblins.
painting videos. Yeah, I gotta start doing
the
some
Reaper
painting.
Bone goblins and the bugbear from Pathfinder.
Oh, real quick. Okay, so I picked these up. I don't know if you can click on my screen because no one can see me.
On your screen.
Can you see my screen? Come real
All
quick.
I see is my screen right now.
Because Scott said, before you end the stream, I just wanted to say you are all great. Glad you got my boy Frankie on here. See you in the Discord. No, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Scott. So check it out. I bought these guys. They are 3D printed.
So name
skeletons. I'm thinking about doing a how to paint skeletons video.
Dude, I need that stuff for my craft.
Yeah?
I need skeletons, bro.
All right. I got you.
Do it.
I got a couple different ways that I paint them. So I'll do a couple different. Okay. All right.
Hell yeah, I would watch
I had
that.
some skeletons that I started painting and I was like, I left them alone.
All right. I'm going to do it.
This is as far as I got on mine right now.
Man.
Just painted the bones, that was it. I'm like, I'm not doing this today.
And you know what's funny? I tell people all the time when it comes to painting miniatures for the first time, get some skeletons. They are the easiest models to paint. So I'll do a video. I'm gonna do a video on it.
Miller said he'd watch it.
Aw, Miller, you
I'd
rock.
watch that. I'd watch that. Anyway, we're done, GG.
All right, man.
All right.
GG,
all right, guys.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you, Frankie, very much for joining us. It was a lot of fun.
Catch you all on the Discord.
And we'll catch y'all on the Discord. Links in the script. Link to Frankie's channels in the script. Link to everybody else's in the script.
Yeah, buddy. All right, fellas. Take it easy.
All right.